lay low shack at. The bottles getting empty, I'm not cracking, we stacking. Chips, all of this, what I want, plus money when that's what I'm on. You can say I'm gone, I prefer elevated, pump sports radio. Time to get educated, who get produced, lay the juice, letting loose with so much abuse that the bookies wanna call the truth. They get slaughtered, can't forget Jeff and Low Baggers in the chat. That's a lethal weapon, cause we be, oh yeah, pubbing. We be pubbing!
What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Friday, June 7th to all of you. Thank you for watching Betting with the Bag right here on Pub Sports Radio. An eventful day yesterday. Put us in good shape in the basketball game. 2 units on the Celtics game 1 in the series. That's a minus 135, but puts us in good shape. 2-1 day in MLB. Felt like we left money on the table. 0-2 day in CFL. Frustrating. The unders were so easy, but the Bombers doing squad-ass zilch and getting tricked on that flea flicker. Very upsetting. I moved live on the under 223.5. I mean, there weren't even 200 points scored in the NBA game. But then I gave that money back. And so I lost a little bit of VIG. I gave the money back, live betting the Bombers twice like a clown. Overall, it was a great day because Operation Garcia came through huge. Now we're still climbing out of a hole in Operation Garcia, but still, it was a nice way to start the finals with Operation Garcia crushing the way it did, 11-6. So, it was a great day, but still, we've had back-to-back winning days in MLB. Still trying to get over what happened on Tuesday, which was awful. And I've been trying to keep my quantity of MLB action low, which has helped. It helped Wednesday a lot. It hurt me yesterday because there were winners that I left on the table. But I'm pumped up and I'm ready to rock. And we have a big show today. TJ back in action with us. TJ has cashed 10 MLB bets in a row here on our show. 10 in a row on our show. Didn't get off to a good start. Similar to Brizzy. They both didn't get off to good starts and then caught fire. TJ has caught fire. 10 straight winners for TJ. It wasn't long ago that we put TJ's record up 4-9. Now it's 14-9. 10 straight winners for TJ. Daby Cab back in business with us as well. They each have 3 games on the slate. TJ actually has 4. He's a 4th game, I think. I have to go over all that. And then we open with CFL. I won't be long with CFL. I'll give you guys my looks for the weekend. Then we're going to go into MLB, smash this 14-game MLB card. Then we're going to talk NBA Finals Game 2 with Billy Brisbane and all 4 WNBA games. Because we care and we listen, and if Von Polo OG Lowbagger wants more WNBA, then that's what we give him. So shout out to you, Von Polo, and shout out to all of Charm City, Baltimore, Maryland. Tori Coker in the house says Celtics was easy. WNBA play today, Mercury +8 at home should be a close game. MLB trying a Dodgers Twins parlay, and he says Tori said he just renewed his membership and has no star. Okay, we'll figure that out, Tori. But you're the man. So let me copy and paste your action. WNBA play of the day is in, and it is. There we go, and it is the Mercury. Let me get this here and locked in. So I'll put that right above. Indiana Fever and Washington Mystics. A game I did not cap, but we have set up, and Brizzy will be doing the capping for that one. That is locked and loaded. It's going to be a fun Dodgers game, man. Yankees doing big things. Morgan Spooner, San Francisco Giants money line. Yankees Dodgers over 9 and Orioles money line. Spreadsheet dog is Colorado. Colorado is the spreadsheet dog for Ron Crawford. Let's get that in here. Locked and loaded. The Rockies for our guy, Ron Crawford. That's Gomber versus Big Tits Lance Lynn. Let's get that all here. Okay, we've got Morgan Spooner's action. I didn't put that in the right spot, but I'm not going to try and fix that. Morgan Spooner says Pissy cereal play today is 2-0, and it is the Guardians. The Guardians on the minus 125 line, expecting the bounce back start from Logan Allen, which I get. And expecting Ryan Weathers to get touch. Ryan Weathers, 11 strikeouts in his last game. We know who Ryan Weathers really is, don't we? Do we? I think we do. think we do. Logan Allen not having a good year for the Guardians that are 40-21. Good God. Shout out to our guy Razor Sharp Picks in the house. I shout out to everyone. What up, Jimmy and chat? 1-0 yesterday with Gamblers First Glance NBA Under. It was gorgeous. A big day for horse racing on the Razor Sharp Picks channel as well. Shout out to Razor. Swiggy Bets in the house. Viper MB says Cleveland Moneyline only play locked in. So we got Viper and Morgan both on that Guardians Moneyline, both expecting the bounce back performance from young Logan Allen. Wine Time Sports, Brian Watson in the house. Justin McKelvey, the steer over 1.5 bases at plus 114. Justin McKelvey, boots on the ground for that big Dodgers-Pirates series. And shout out to our guy, Morgan Spooner. Justin McKelvey. And I actually did get a little bit of sleep. So this is not, it's losing that stops me from sleeping. Wine Time says 4-0 day across all sports yesterday. This run has been absolutely insane. Joey Harbour to get to work. Gerald Jones says on a bit of a heater himself. He's on Atlanta, Washington, first 5 under 4. God, the Braves. I mean, it's so funny how things change so quickly because we catch the under with them yesterday. They could become this glory under team for us. Who would have thunk that? You want unders? You bet Brave games. Clark Edge, Jay Smooth balls play of the day. Mitch Keller over 5.5 Ks. Cooper Criswell over 4.5 Ks. So double up there for Jay Smooth. Looking forward to see Helen Mitch Keller today. That is TJ's first game on our show. And of course, TJ 10 straight winners right here. 10 straight winners. I love it. Ken Wood in the house. Shout out to Ken Wood. He was yesterday's $50 winner in the horse race. Beat 73 other competitors to the finish line first. And he gives half of it back in memberships immediately on our live show. What a guy you are, Ken Wood. Thank you so much for all that you do for us. Ken Wood in the house. Our horse racing champ. Von Polo, Trap God, the Nuke Worker. Nuke Worker says, anybody see Bo Bano and Follow the Money with Paulie Howard? Nice. I like that. Paulie Howard's all business, man. Von Polo said he got paid in full. Celtics minus 15 pregame. Absolutely beautiful. Jason Torres says, my Celtics whooped the Mavs ass. I love it. I love it. It was very enjoyable. Jose also had a great time. He's backstage right now. Let's bring Jose on and see how he's feeling after his hugely successful evening with his Boston Celtics. Jose, join us. How are you? How are you feeling?
Great.
Yeah.
I mean, I gave you guys the script. I told you bar for bar, word for word, just like Kendrick Lamar. I had the play sheet. The Mavericks are indeed Drake. We're just dragging them through the mud. Jimmy, what did I tell you? Pick Porzingis. Little man just fucking on his little chest. You think you're going to block this shot over his head? No fucking shot. It's going to be all day. I can't wait. They already made it. I already saw the line for game 2. I laughed. It was -7. You know why everyone hates this Celtics team, Jimmy? They don't cover spreads. Who cares? It doesn't matter. As long as they win the chip, they don't cover spreads. And that's fine. So bet against the Celtics all you want. I'll win my race to 10s. I'll laugh in your faces when you bet the Mavs. And I will fucking laugh.
I love it. There he is. Jose Bouquet. Very confident. Morgan Spooner, NJ Striker. Morgan Spooner, thank you for the kind words. Says, guys, this show is special. Everywhere you look in the world, people are taking advantage of one another. But this community is working together as co-pilots to one another to crack the book's code. I like that a lot, Morgan Spooner. Stimmy OG says, what it do? Jimmy, light work in the NBA. Celtics, easy money. Ken Mizrahi, Benjamin Mills says, lots of short home dogs today. I've moved across the CFL board. I now know exactly what I'm going to do in NHL. I had to sit with it for a little while. And there's no MLB yet moves for me. So I'll be doing that with you guys. Joey Harb, Slatsy says CFL off to a 2-0 start with the Owls. Bombs under an Owls money line first quarter. Got under 47 in Stamps, Ticats, and over 46.5 in Rough Riders, Elks. That all makes sense. That all makes sense. I'm very curious to see what the Rough Riders defense is going to look like. We know that they were a gift to overbetters last year. So I will copy and paste that right above CFL. And look, we have CFL, we have WNBA, and I'm not going to take a ton of time in CFL. I'm just going to roll through my action here. I've got bets on every game, and I doubled up on one spot. Remo says Jose will be insufferable today. He is very proud of his ball team.
Hey, Ram. Hey, Ram. Hey, buddy. Ram.
BT in the house. One time sports.
By the
Kelly,
way, I've been kicked out of the apartment for these streams now. I'm no longer. Helga has banned me from being in the apartment during Celtics games now.
Wow.
So Sunday will be from Southtown 101.
Okay.
So I can let strangers watch me, and I'm going to be obviously in there alone, so it'll be better because they'll just be watching me by myself, just screaming. So it's going to be fun.
It will be. It will be. It will be. We have another live stream on Sunday evening here. We got Who Bangin' Sports Talk in the house. Justin McKelvey says, does anyone know why Black Santa got banned? He messaged me today. So it's up to you guys. Basically, what happened with Black Santa was there were some question marks whether Black Santa was actually black. Now, he says he's black, but Nasty Nate took offense because, how about this? This isn't we've had to do this with one person. We'll do this with Black Santa. How about Black Santa? I'm going to get in touch with Black Santa. We'll do a like a FaceTime on the phone or a one here on camera, just the two of us. So I will see that he is in fact black and not a horrible person. How about we do that? So I'll reach out to Black Santa. He's reached out to me. It's just obviously we're a multicultural program, and we felt a little defensive. So I'll do that. And now, Justin McKelvey, you're vouching here. Are you vouching for Black Santa? Because if you do that, Justin, if you vouch for Black Santa, then we'll bring him right back. I didn't have a problem with what Nate did, So that's what happened, Justin. So first off, you vouch. I'll get on the phone. The last person I said, okay, if you are who you say you are, let's just do a quick. Or there's lots of different ways to prove who you are, and it that person was unable to prove that they were in fact the person they say they are, and we're not wondering if he's Santa. That's not the question. Okay, so in there I see down here, Justin saying he's not vouching, only asking. So and Remo saying make sure he is Santa. So. So look, that's what we'll do. I just, I don't mind that Nate took offense. And speaking of Nate, shout out to Nate. Son graduated last night off the University of Rhode Island. Nate got him a car. Thought he was going to be booting around on a moped. Can't get women with a moped. Now, you can be a crack dealer. Parkdale. Crack dealers ride around on mopeds, and they throw the crackies on the back, but not for a kid trying to be a man. So shout out to all of you guys. Ken Mizrahi in the house. Great to see all of you guys. Nut Flush Allen ready to get to work, and Swig, don't worry, I'll take care of this one. Okay. Barry Smith says, yeah, nothing like the crack dealers in Brooklyn. Yeah. Well, there are some similarities. My Ooh Face says, listening to the Black Santa portion of the show right now. Well, that's because it just happened. That just happened. It's because you're just watching this show, is what you should say. So I'm watching the show. Okay. My dude says block because of his name. It's supposed to be fun. Listen. I hear that you guys have no uncomfort with somebody being Black Santa, and neither do I. So as soon as we see that it is a, he says he's a 44-year-old black dude. Let's just we'll figure that out. And we'll get him on here, and I'm very, very comfortable with how that was handled at this point. All right, let's get to work. We're going to talk CFL football, and the unders were very easy, and the Alouettes looked excellent. The Bombers have to be bet again, I think, immediately. But let's get to work. We start out tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern. I've got bets on each game. We're going to go through this quickly, and I know not all of you guys bet the CFL, and if I don't succeed in a big way this year, you won't bet the CFL. I get it. I understand the situation, and I want to take care of business here. First off, every single capper out there is on the Hamilton Tiger Cats tonight. They are all on the Hamilton Tiger Cats tonight. And honestly, it doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, the Tiger Cats last year were much better than the Stampeders last year. Yeah. And maybe we shouldn't trust Dave Dickinson or his brother to do anything. That's all valid here. That's all valid. Come on. Get this going with the odds. This is not the right time for the odds to be messing with me. Here, okay, this is annoying. Jose, I might need you for some odds action here. But let's go. So, McMahon Stadium in Calgary, Alberta this evening. We have 34-year-old Bo Levi Mitchell, two-time CFL Most Outstanding Player. That was back in 2014 and 2018. I have no faith in Bo Levi Mitchell whatsoever. None. Zero faith in Bo Levi Mitchell. I don't understand why anybody does. Last year, when he was healthy, they still played Matthew Schultz over him in the playoffs. If there's a question, who is going to have a better season when both of these quarterbacks struggled, 27-year-old Jake Maier and 34-year-old Bo Levi Mitchell, I think Jake Maier will. And every single person is on the Hamilton Tiger Cats in this game. I mean it. Every single person. And look, it just doesn't make sense to me. Jake Maier tutored under Mitchell. It was good enough that they got rid of Bo Levi Mitchell. And yeah, Jake Maier didn't have a very good first season. Okay? As a starting quarterback. Look, I get it. It's all good, my Ufe. It's all good, my man. So, you guys remember Dedrick Mills, former Nebraska running back. He's now the lead running back in Calgary. He's waited for this opportunity. And I think he's going to deliver for the Stampeders. Reggie Beggleton is back a wide receiver. Yes, Calgary finished last year. Yes, Tim White is a monster wide receiver, and we saw him completely take over games. They got Keandre Smith, White, of course, back-to-back 1,200-yard seasons. They have James Butler, who's coming off back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. Look, I get it. I get that the Ticats have this, but I can't get past every single person on them and having expectations for Bo Levi Mitchell when we know who he is now. He's not going to be the starting quarterback of the Hamilton Tiger Cats at the end of the year, regardless of health. So then you have the Stampeders, who are horrific at home. They're so bad at home. They've covered 9 of their last 29 games at home. So you have all these gamblers who lost money on the Stampeders all last year. The Tiger Cats always beat the Stamps, 4-2 straight up, 5-1 against the spread against the Stamps. So you have all of these people backing Hamilton. And I mean, every single person that I've seen is on Hamilton. Let me see if I switch this over, if I can get this up here. I'll go over here to give you the line history. So, yes, how do we bet the Calgary Stampeders? I'm taking them to win the football game. This isn't the way it works. That you have every single person, every outlet, every article, everybody on one side, and they all get paid. They're simplifying things. And I don't think it makes any sense. So here we go. Can I get the line history? Yes, I can. Okay, so this is the situation. There has been a move towards Hamilton. Hamilton opened up, not at Pinnacle though. At Pinnacle, Hamilton opened up -3 cents, -1 at -103. Now they're -1 at -106. I'm on the Stampeders money line. Ryan Kozlowski says, "Is Ian on Hamilton?" He's a big fan of this, so we'll see. And Nuke Worker says, "Not everyone, Jimmy. I'm on the Stamps -1, -105. I don't care what happened last year. I'm right with you, Nuke. And look, Rod Zawacki. Rod Zawacki's such a great capper. Unicorn capper can cap it all. It says Tiger Cats are 0-6 against spread in their last 6 games in June. Look, this is, so I love hearing that. I am on, we use Pinnacle lines, my face. I do Pinnacle lines and Jose does Bet Online lines. I always do the Pinnacle line moves. So there's game 1 tonight. I'm on the Calgary Stampeders, just a win, keeping it clean. Let's move on to Saturday, June 8th. This is a double up spot for me. Saskatchewan Roughriders 6-12, 2-7 on the road. At the Edmonton Elks 4-14, 2-7 at home. We're at Commonwealth Stadium in Edmonton, Alberta. This is year 3 under Chris Jones. And I know that Chris Jones isn't liked by players, but he has success in this league. There's been a big move towards the Edmonton Elks. I agree with it completely. They open up. Oh, wow. There has not been. It's moved back to Saskatchewan. Unbelievable. Wow. Saskatchewan has gone from +2.5 to +1 in this one. And this is a similar situation to the Bo Levi Mitchell situation. You have Trevor Harris at 38 years old. I didn't think Trevor Harris could be a starting quarterback in this league at 34 years old. Now he's 38 years old, coming off a full year of injury with a new coach in Corey Mace. And because the Elks, everyone has a vividness bias of how bad the Elks are, people are on the Saskatchewan Roughriders. It doesn't make sense to me. I'm doubling up on the Edmonton Elks. Year 3 under Chris Jones. McLeod Bethel Thompson is a new quarterback in Edmonton over Trey Ford. I don't really like that. I like Trey Ford, but it's a really strong 1-2 punch. McLeod Bethel Thompson helped the Argos win the Grey Cup in 2022, and he played in the USFL last season. And they're going to continue to improve. They have Kevin Brown on the ground. He was a monster last year. Even when the opponents knew they were going to rush nonstop, he still was able to get first downs. 1,141 yards on 186 carries. And the idea, capping-wise, is that the Rough Riders are going to be able to run the ball down the Elks' throats with A.J. Ouellette, fourth best. I think he was better, but statistically the fourth best running back in the league last year. He ran for 1,009 yards in 15 games. Look, he's a monster. The Rough Riders had the worst defense in the league in 2023. They allowed 551 points. And are they going to be able to plug these holes? Look, they pick up Marcus Sales. Is that going to be enough? Marcus Sales? Rod Zwack's Edmonton ditched Harris 10 years ago. So, look, this is a double up spot for me. The Elks at home, remember they had that 3-year losing streak at home. That's what everybody seems to remember, is how bad the Elks were. Nobody remembers how horrible the Rough Riders were last year. The Elks were 4-14, Rough Riders 6-12. Look, this is a double up spot on the Elks, first half and full game. And I got better lines at Bet365 for this one. I got the first half money line at -115 and the full game at -110. Rod Zawacki like Edmonton here. Look, I'm on Edmonton. So this is a double up spot for me, 4 p.m. on Saturday. Let's talk about the lone Sunday matchup. BC Lions 12-6, 6-3 on the road at Toronto. Argonauts 16-2, 9-0 at home. Let's go over the line history here in this one. Again, we have Slatsy who's moving on totals in this spot. He got the under 47 in Stamps Ticats and the over 46.5 for Rough Riders Elks. I felt really, really good about the under in last night's game. I'm going to leave totals alone for the weekend's football action. But here on Sunday night, I am on the Toronto Argonauts at +6. I truly believe, without a shadow of a doubt, that the BC Lions are not as good as they were last year, with no doubt whatsoever. Now, there's more parity in the league this year. We saw that yesterday or last night with the Bombers, who've been the class of the league, not looking very good. But I do not think that my Lions are going to be better than they were last year. Now, they're expected to be good. I don't think they will be that good. I don't think they will be 12-6. And the Argos, of course, went 16-2, 9-0 at home last year, and they've been dealing with the suspension, the ugly suspension of their star quarterback. He's out for 9.5 games, and it wasn't the offseason they were hoping for. So Chad Kelly out for a minimum 9-game suspension. It looks like it'll just be 9 games. It is a violation of the league's gender-based violence policy, specifically the sexual harassment of a female former strength and conditioning coach and verbal abuse. at the team's facility. Now, can Dinwiddie handle this? I will copy and paste that here in a second. Slatsy says, I can't touch this until I see the Argos without Kelly. I feel like I saw enough of the Argos without Kelly last year with Cameron Dukes at the helm. And some sources had a feeling Alouettes were going to pull the upset, but I never pulled the trigger on it. It was a great call. Lamont Williams, I will copy and paste this. But let me run through this action for me. I'm on the Argonauts +6 at home in their home opener at BMO Field on Sunday. So who's gone from the Lions? Dominique Grimes and Lucky Whitehead. They were electric, especially, Dominique Grimes. Now you could say Lucky Whitehead was slowing down a bit, and maybe he was tough in the locker room. But Keon Hatcher was a monster last year. He's out until Labor Day with a torn Achilles. So there you have 3 stud wide receivers gone. So who do you have? Do you have Travis Fulgham? You guys remember him? He led the Eagles in receiving in 2021 with like 539 yards. So he's there. Alexander Holland's there. Justin McInnes is there. They add William Stanback from the Alouettes. Who'd they lose? They lost defensive lineman Matthew Betts, CFL's most outstanding defensive player, league best 18 sacks in 18 games, and is the most by Canadian-born player in league history. Betts, born in Montreal. Shout out to Slatsy. And looks like he's going to crack the Lions 53-man roster. Looks like the Detroit Lions and Matthew Betts have found a home together. The Woody Barron's gone. David Menard gone from the defensive line rotation. They're bringing in 4 new starters in the secondary. They have an injury to TJ Lee. They lose Marcus Sales. I know, and Jalen Edwards Cooper, Marcus Sales, of course. We just talked about going to the Rough Riders. And they got Christian Covington. You guys remember Christian Covington, 8 years in the NFL. Christian Covington coming to replace Betts. I don't think he's going to be able to do that. So let's talk about Ryan Dinwiddie's Argos here. I think Cameron Dukes can handle the offense. He's got the best offensive line in the league in front of him. They allowed a CFL low 19 sacks last year. They were very, very good. And they have continuity on the offensive line. We know what that does for a quarterback. Darius Sirocco, Ryan Hunter, 2023 Most Outstanding Lineman Award winner, Dejon Allen. They're all there. So Isaiah Cage got the extension. They have Brissett and Coxey. Kadeem Carey comes in at running back from Calgary to replace A.J. Ouellette. I like Ouellette better than Carey, but he can do the job at 31. We expect him to. He led the league in rushing in 2022. Wynton McManus, career high in sacks and interceptions. Folarin Ormaladi is a monster on the defensive line. They had 68 sacks last year. They forced 54 turnovers. Yeah, they lose Siggers to the NFL. He was a monster. They lose a Darius Pickett to the Ottawa Redblacks. So I let you guys down last night. The unders were easy cashers. I thought we were in business after a quarter. I thought we were in business. That very long drive got stalled at the 16. I had to kick a field goal, and then things just turned around. And look, if I don't deliver for you guys in CFL, it won't be an important part of the show. I expect to deliver for you guys. So this is my action. Sides, keeping it clean, week 1 in the CFL. I'm on the Stampeders. I got -101 at Pinnacle. I'm on the Elks first half, money line -115. Elks full game -110. I'm on the Argonauts +6 at -112. And that is our CFL breakdown for today. Going to be copying and pasting some more MLB action, but let's get to work in MLB right now. Bring on the star of MLB programming here on Pub Sports Radio. We have both Daby Cab and TJ making guest appearances today on today's show. Please welcome from San Antonio, Texas, home of the Southtown 101 and Pub Sports Radio, Mr. Jose Bouquet to the show. Jose, how are you?
Just great. Even the Celtics did quell a 0-1 day yesterday. Obviously, we pushed the fucking Nats, which is super annoying. Mitchell Parker having a great start, a part of my rotation. But yeah, it was a decent day. Can't complain. The Orioles giving me hope was really annoying, obviously. But I have a couple guys in my rotation going today. Going to take a big dog or two. Should be interesting.
Dominic Merrill giving us a long shot at Saratoga. That is copied and pasted. For those of you who
is that today or tomorrow?
That would be today. Long shot. Okay. Saratoga. Check out race 6 here. Shout out to Perky Bumps Sanderson with a $10 dono to bless our action to get us started. Love you, Perky, and we love capping with you. Remo says Red Black 6.5 wins for the season. I think they're the worst team in the East. Remo's, I think that they have some skill and they should be better than last year, but Bob Dice just can't be trusted under any circumstances. So I think they should be better than last year. They're a tricky team, and they cost me money last year. Wine Time Sports is on Blue Jays -1 and -120, Twins money line, Angels money line, and Rays money line. We know what Wine Time Sports is doing right now.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's the fucking hottest capper around Pub Sports Radio right now.
Yes, and he's a must follow on Twitter at Wine Time Sports. Let me copy and paste Wine Time's action here. I'm not sure if your mic is on. Do you want to give that a once?
I'll look right now. By the way, I'm betting and going to bet Nick's horse here.
There you go. Now you're in business. Slatsy bet the Red Blacks to get 7 wins. Sorry, Slatsy did bet that. So, look, if I had a bet about 6.5 wins, I would take the over. I just can't trust Bob Dice at all. So much so that I just don't want anything to do with that football team. But I'll be watching them very closely. Yes, Dominic Mayo saying that is today. Thank you, Dominic. Of course, we have a huge monster horse racing stream tomorrow. Big one on Saturday here. The Belmont Stakes special. Razor Sharp Picks and I will be hosting, and make sure that you have adult beverages, and let's deliver here. We need to get that cash, and what a card at Saratoga. It's going to be spectacular. So
20-1 that horse is, by the way, Jimmy. 20-1. So let's ride.
I love it. I love it, Dominic. I love it. All right. Let's get to work. TJ we're expecting TJ to be joining us here in game 2. You might send TJ a message saying that, get him ready to go here. Let's get to work. 6:40 p.m. Eastern. Milwaukee Brewers 36-26, 18-16 on the road at the Detroit Tigers 31-31, 14-15 at home. We're at Comerica Park in Detroit, Michigan. We've been waiting to find out who will be pitching for the Milwaukee Brewers. We've been waiting patiently, and it's still off the board. Let me do a refresh here. I'm surprised it's off the board. I would like to expect that Reese Olson is going to have the bounce back start to get us paid. Let's go over to Swish and see the weather here at Comerica. It's not a very good day in this area. 72 Fahrenheit, 13.3 miles per hour to left center, ties down to 11.1 miles per hour. We have Reese Olson coming off pretty much his only bad start of the year. And, he's such a monster at home. 1-2, 0.65 ERA. Opponents hitting 156 against him. I want to. Oh, okay. No worries, TJ. Webcam issues so blurry. Trying to correct. Okay, no worries. The Brewers versus righties, we know they're hitting them hard. 252, 725 OPS, but I expect a bounce back performance for Reese Olson after allowing 5 earned runs over 5 1/3 at the Boston Red Sox. Let's get over and talk line history and cash flow for this one, and then hear what Jose thinks about it. Of course, there's not a lot we can do until we know who's going to be on the bump and what kind of line are we going to get here. No books offering this game at this point, so it is a tricky situation. Let's talk about the bullpens, though. We can do that. So this is all since May 1st. So we're talking about 5 weeks of information. We have the Milwaukee Brewers bullpen being touch and go all season. Not very trustworthy, and they haven't been very good of late. Right now, opponents, the BABIP of 276. I guess that's not that bad. We have a whip here for Milwaukee of 1.16. Okay, no, they're looking better than I thought. I don't know why I was so against the Milwaukee bullpen of late. They've been fine. And the Detroit Tigers bullpen's been an absolute atrocity. I mean, we're talking the 24th in the league since May 4th at 1.46 whip. They've been horrific, absolutely horrific after that spectacular start the first month. So if it was going to be back in the Tigers, it'd be a first 5 variety. Take it away for us here, Jose. Brewers, Tigers.
Yeah, agreed. If I was backing the Tigers here, it'd be probably first 5. I like Reese Olson a lot. It's just proof that, record doesn't matter for starting pitchers. It just shows the Tigers never hit for him. So I'd consider a full game under in this game as well, and just pray that the Tigers bullpen can come through for you. But I don't think we're getting Freddie Peralta today. I think, if it was Freddie, then they would have just announced it already. And so who knows? Yeah. Who's gonna go? No one knows. I'm interested, obviously. Bullpen wise, let me bring that up real quick to see, just in case. Yeah, fresh bullpen for the Brewers, obviously, and for Detroit, we have Los Tigres here. Where are you, Tigers? There we are. Fresh, but Joey Wentz through 65. Mason Englert, I don't know how to say that, through 53. They will probably not throw, and this was on Wednesday. And Andrew Chafin still threw 34 on Wednesday, so I would be surprised if he threw today as well. So keep those notes, but I'm not going to move on this game, obviously, because we don't know what pitcher is going. So no action.
I think that expecting a Reese Olson bounce back start here is what to do, and that the line will move in the Tigers' direction as soon as it's available. I would like to move on the Tigers first 3 and first 5 as soon as it's available. Now, again, you need to know what the hell's going on with the bullpen, with the starting pitcher for the Brewers. So that's about it here. That's about it. Let's roll on. Unfortunately, it looks like here, maybe we do have a chance. Oh, and he's looking good. All right. Well, let's get rolling. Our next guest has currently hit 10 in a row. 10 winners in a row on our show. He's gone from 4-9 to 14-9. And
wait,
he's got best
is this our next guest?
We have multiple guests. You're right. Helen Mitch Keller is on the bump, and Helen Keller firing, looking very good right now. Mally Mal says Reese Olson just got lit up, and the Brewers hitting righties. All I needed to hear for Mally Mal. So Mally Mal wanting Brewers money line. Look, I get the Brewers full game, but Reese Olson is, he's part of my rotation, Mally Mal. So I'm higher than him than others, and I get that. That's totally fine. Let's roll here and bring on your first live guest of the show. 10 straight winners. Can he make it 11? Please welcome TJ to the program. TJ, how are you?
Ooh, barely got in here. Switched to an old webcam. Seems to be working.
Yeah. It's a little off sync, but you're here, and that's what is important here, TJ. That is what is important.
It was a rocky start, but you seem to be okay now, hopefully.
We're okay now?
Yeah.
We're good?
Yeah, we're good. We're in business. Okay, let's roll, TJ. So we got Jay Smooth Balls play today on Mitch Keller over 5.5 Ks. We're at PNC Park in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. 72 Fahrenheit here. It's pretty much the same weather as Detroit. Of a 13.3 out to left field, a little stronger with the wind in Detroit. 15.7 down to 12.3. This is 13.3, but out to left field here. Perky says FSU baseball starts in 20 minutes. He took the -1.5 in the Super Regional at their home field against UConn. Okay, here we go. PNC Park. We have Joe Ryan going up against Mitch Keller. It's a nice pitching situation here, but the wind is blowing out pretty strong out to left field. We have, of course, my line movements are going to be pinnacle line movements. We have Joe Ryan opening up at -117, now -125. We have 8 cents of movement towards the Minnesota Twins and Joe Ryan. On the total for this one, we are sitting with an 8 at -106. This opened up at 8. It took 2 minutes to drop to 7.5. It wasn't really a valid 7.5. It was even money to the under, -117 to the over. Jump right back to 8, and then back to 7.5. It doesn't move to 8 finally until 11:31 p.m. That's when it sticks at 8, and it's been there. So overall, we've had 6 cents of movement to the over and 8 cents to the Twinkies. Let's get into the cash flow here for this one. Why not? God, what the hell? I got too many things up here. Thought I'd done. Oh, here we go. God, this is a problem.
How many tabs do you have open right now? Over or under 25?
Actually, I'm under, but I think that with the all the line move sites that I have up slow things down. 65% of the tickets, 54% of the cash on the Twins, 8 cents of movement towards them. 95% of the tickets, 92% of cash on the over, and just slight movement on the over. Morgan Spooner says this is a Twins spot. We are learning not to trust these short home dogs. I like backing Ryan, but the Pirate bats are hard to read. Joe Ryan's last start was not good. 5-2 loss at Houston, 5 earned runs, 4 jacks over 5 innings, but he's been great on the road all year. 2.48 ERA, 234 opponents batting average, 37 Ks and 7 walks over 36 in the third. Helen Mitch Keller is throwing beautifully right now. Another strong start at the Blue Jays last out. Now the Blue Jays are terrible with the sticks, but 1 earned run over 6 innings. At home, he's 3-1 with 3.31 ERA and 225 opponents batting average. Twins versus righties, 222, 694 OPS. Pirates just 225, 644 OPS. And the Pittsburgh bullpen has been horrible all year, 1.49 whip since May 1st. While the Minnesota Twins bullpen has been a little unlucky statistically, but still a 1.29 whip. And they carried the team through that opening tough run, and then haven't been very good as the offense has started coming together. Take it away for us, TJ. Best bet time. You who have cashed 10 straight here on the show. Twinkies, Pirates.
You know what, Jimmy? If you don't mind, I'm opening up all my betting sites because I was refreshing my computer trying to get things to work. Can Jose go real quick while I look at these where the line has moved here?
Absolutely. Jose Bouquet, your plan for Twins Pirates.
Yeah, I've gone back and forth, and shout out to Troy because, we obviously are formulating now our 10 cap commandments. By the way, I still haven't listened to 10 crack commandments.
Okay.
Just wasn't on the radar yet, I guess. I don't know. I'm too busy trying to move.
Sure.
But yeah, a part of the 10 cap commandments is do not bet these short home dogs. And I was very close to betting one today, and I looked down and I saw that note, and I was like, no. I mustn't, so I can't, and I'm not going to. I like the Twins here, if anything, and the line has moved towards the Twins. This opened up, like you mentioned, -117 on Bet Online. Now this is up to -126 at Bet Online, so it's gone up. Bovada had -119, now up to -128. I think the Twins get the job done against a Pirates team that is just not good at the end of the day. And Mitch Keller. Sure, he's been solid this year. Looks great on the mound. But I just can't trust him at the end of the day, unfortunately. It's been how many starts now in a row has he had solid? It's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 great starts in a row of 1 or no or 2 earned runs there. So I just don't want to jump on board this Mitch Keller train and potentially be first at the funeral.
There's been a huge move on the first 5 under, 22 cents of movement at Pinnacle. And other books aren't moving it quite as far as Pinnacle. I think that might be appealing. Let's hear, TJ, what was your plan for best bet time?
Yeah, so I have 2 plays here. One is kind of what you touched on there. I'm have a real hard time with Pittsburgh's bullpen. Not only do they have a 4.01 ERA, I mean, that's fine over the last 14, but they got a really high Sierra and a really high whip. They're not striking batters out, and they're walking 10% of batters, striking out 18%. That's not going to get it done in the late innings when guys are more patient, trying to get those base hits. I do like the Minnesota bullpen, 0.93 whip, 0.171 batting average against the last 14. And I think the pitchers are just about a wash here. I expect them both to have a good game, so I think the first 5 under is a little too juicy. I'm going to go with the first inning, no run in the first inning. And on Heritage, I'm seeing that at -134. It's a little juicy, but, DraftKings is like -160. So I like Heritage -134, no run first inning. And then because of that late game and because I think it's a close game going into that, 6th, 7th inning, I'm going to go Minnesota money line here. So 2 plays on this game, Minnesota money line and the first inning, no score. I think you guys touched on a lot of good points. So, yeah, I think Minnesota just has the advantage. I don't trust either offense, but I'm going to put a lot of faith into that bullpen today.
Or faith in the weakness of the Pirates bullpen
right
as well. Yeah, no, that all makes sense to me. And the minus 122 or at least minus 120 on the first 5 under 4 is not appealing. Jose, is there anything? And not flush on. I was thinking of you before you even had that comment. That series against the Dodgers was a hugely emotional series. What are they going to have left for the sleepy Twins coming to town?
Yeah, like I said, I agree. I think Twins, but I think minus 130 is just a little bit too juiced for me. And then I say that I've taken like a minus 155 recently, but and yesterday's race to 10 was minus 150. But yeah, no action for me in this game. Just not confident enough.
Yeah, that last series, I mean, that's as good as it gets for Pittsburgh. They're going to celebrate a little bit after that. Dodgers come to town. Your 2 studs pitch well.
You would think that I of the Pittsburgh Pirates sweep would know how they do after these sweeps, but I don't, unfortunately.
Huh. No, I think that what you're on is appealing here, both spots, but it just doesn't feel like a good spot for the Pirates. After that emotional series and sleepy Twinkies come to town.
I'm going to go ahead and guess that no one's going to this game either. Like
they've been drawing really well. They've been drawing better than they have in years. So, but I hear you. Okay, I think I'm very interested in your Twins look here. Very, very interested. TJ on the board with the Nerfy at minus 134 and the Twins money line. TJ, you're also with us in Orioles-Rays. Why don't you stick with us while we cap this next game? 6:45 p.m. Eastern. We have the Atlanta Braves 35-25, 16-13 on the road at the Washington Nationals, 27-35, 10-17 at home. And I'm sticking to this idea that the Braves could be our best under team in the league. Their starting pitching is delivering. Their bullpen's been very good, and they just don't seem to have power right now. Maybe that will change as it heats up. Gerald Jones is on the first 5 under 4 in this one. Nationals Park in Washington, D.C. Let's get started with the weather in D.C. We have 83 Fahrenheit, 14.5 miles per hour left to right. By the end of the game, it's slightly in and slightly less at 12.8 miles per hour. I apologize for my kids screaming. I'm not sure if you're picking that up, but it is a professional day here in
Is that like what is a professional day? I don't know what that means.
That's just what they call it here. It's a day off.
Interesting.
It's a day off. Hoops 590. Glad that you're not and that you got yourself a spot. Hoops 590. Man, that's important. It's important. You can't think clearly unless you have a place to rest,
Shout out to you, Hoops.
Yeah, Hoops. It's nice to see you in the chat, man. So here we go. Chris Sale coming off a horrible start. Is this the bounce back opportunity? This was probably Jose's low point in the season. He correctly predicted Chris Sale would get touched and didn't reap the rewards. And the A's won the full game. I mean, that's just
I was on both, but yeah, I should have.
Oh, you were on both. Oh, okay,
I was on
good.
both.
Oh, okay, shit. Okay, good. Okay, then there's nothing to worry about there. So Chris Sale coming off allowing 8 earned runs over 4 innings. On the road, he's been strong this year, and that in 3.33 ERA, 231 opponent's batting average. Going up against Jake Irvin, who's been good, really good, but not at home. At home, 22 innings, 290 opponent's batting average, 4.91 ERA. The Braves are not hitting righties at all. 221, 661 OPS. Nats versus lefties are horrific. 575 OPS since May 1st. Both bullpens have been very good. Nats bullpen wasn't great yesterday, but both bullpens have been very good over a legitimate amount of time. Justin McKelvey says Sale ladder K's might be on his card. Stephen Harrison says Braves again today run line, and we got from Lamont Williams the Braves run line was his max bet. So here we go. Jose Bouquet, Braves, Nats. What do you think? Oh, I didn't do the line history. Sorry, let me just quickly do that so we have an idea of what's going on. The Braves are sitting here right now at minus 196. They opened up at minus 201, so a 5-cent move towards the Nationals. From a total side of things here, we are dealing with a 7.5, a minus 116 to the over. This did open up at 8. It dropped to 7.5. At around 9:15 this morning. And then cash-wise for this one, we have 79% of tickets, 74% of cash on the over. And on the money line, we have 90% tickets, 91% cash on the Braves. Take it away, Jose. Your thoughts.
Yeah, I want to back my guy here. I want to back Jake Irvin. I think I'll roll with the under. I like the under full game here. And by the way, I'm trying to avoid first 5 totals because I've been getting massacred on them. But full game under is going to be on my card here. But I like Jake Irvin, and I think I want to roll Washington Nationals first 5 here. Both bullpens are pretty rested, so that's nice for the full game under as well. But Jake Irvin's just in my rotation. I think he's been quality. Obviously a little concerned that he's not pitching well at home, but 79% of the bets, 74% of the money on the over. And we haven't really done much but go down. We're going to see 7.5s here very soon. So I'm going to take the full game under 8, and I have to get that odds in. I'm going to take Washington first 5 here. But yeah, I like both. And by the way, you mentioned, I think someone mentioned it, that the Braves obviously a very good under team. Best under teams, I'll give you the top 5 real quick. Seattle Mariners, 23 and 39 to the under. Braves 22 and 38. Astros 24 and 37. Rangers 22 and 37. Diamondbacks 28 and 34. And if you guys are curious for first 5 specifically, I can give you that as well. First 5 under teams. I'm assuming it's the same bunch, but just for curiosity's sake, number 1, the Texas Rangers, 23 and 37, 10 units of profit on the first 5 under. 2, the Seattle Mariners, 9 units of profit, 23 and 36. 3, the Atlanta Braves, 22 and 33, 7 units of profit. And 4, the Detroit Tigers, 22 and 33, 5 units of profit there. So yeah, nothing else for me.
Wow. So are you going to, is this Nats first 5 and full game under 8 a lean, or is it a move?
No, I'm moving on. I'm just grabbing the odds right now.
All right. Jason Work in the house. AOD. Okay. Take it away. TJ, what are your thoughts on this Braves Nats spot?
Yeah, no, I appreciate doing another game that wasn't one of my best bets because I am high volume. I bet a lot, and I do have a play already in on this game. I don't know if I pay the juice now. I'd have to think about that, but I'm on the under 8 for minus 110. Obviously not official because the line has moved enough. So yeah, I like the look on the under. I think you're right. The Braves are just going to be an under team. The wind blowing across the diamond, 14 miles per hour, left to right or third to first, is going to help Jake Irvin a lot. Sale's a wild card. I would think he bounces back to form. But the bet I do want to make official is going to be Irvin under 1.5 walks at minus 110 on DraftKings. I've started doing pitcher props a lot more because I've noticed it over the past few years. My model does really good on the pitchers. And so this year I've been doing it, and it's been going well. Irvin in his last 8 starts and 9 out of 11, he's allowed 1 walk or 0 walks. They're keeping him at about 6 innings per game. They've kind of found that sweet spot. And then you look and the Braves are only walking 6.3% of the time, which is almost the 4th worst in baseball over the last 30, or over the last 14, and over the last 30, it's only 7% of the time. And then you got Jake Irvin, who's only walking 4% of batters. So you got a team that's swinging away. Yeah, they make a lot of contact in the Braves. And you got a pitcher who pitches to contact and doesn't walk people, plus the wind helping him out. So under 1.5 walks seems like a pretty good bet at minus 110. I would pay up to like minus 135 for it.
And that's at minus 110 right now, the under 1.5 walks?
Minus 110 on DraftKings right now. I haven't looked anywhere else, but
no, that's great. That'll work.
Yeah.
Interesting from our guy Sharpie, who gave us Bybee yesterday, said he's on Crochet over 7.5. K's at minus 125. And he says, tune into Walking Dead today to find out why you should run from Sale today.
Yeah, Sharpie and I were both on the over Cades and Sales last start. We both got burnt on that. We were DMing each other, and we thought it was gold, but too good to be true.
The weakness that the Nats have had versus lefties is I wonder, is Sharpie talking about just from a strikeout angle? Like Sharpie, do you think that Sale's not going to be able to, have a quality start against a team that can't hit lefties, or it's not hitting lefties? I'd love to hear that, because I do find that under appealing here. Jose, what numbers did you get for first 5 and under 8?
First 5 money line plus 165.
Okay.
And the under 8 minus 125. So yes, TJ, it's definitely a move. So congratulations on your minus 110. I
But
think
CLV doesn't matter, right?
Let's say I think they call that CLV in the business.
Listen, I have some things to say about that. I don't know if we want to save it, but you track your CLV over 10,000 bets, your ROI is going to be a lot different.
Oh,
I know it's not always going to win, but you got to take a huge sample size.
well, I'm interested in that under 8 still. I know it's costly, but I will take a look at it after the show. It does, and I don't know if I really want to go back to the well here. DJ 100 grand moving on as well. Eyeball 509 in the house. Braves run line and Ozuna home run. Let's roll on to the next spot for TJ. Best bet time 6:50 p.m. Eastern with the Baltimore Orioles 39-22, 18-10 on the road at the Tampa Bay Rays, 31-31, 17-18 at home. We're at the Trop in St. Petersburg, Florida. We have Cole Irvin, the lefty, going up against Aaron Savali. Savali has just not figured it out here since that trade over from the Guardians last season. At the deadline, he just hasn't looked good until that last start. That last start was very good. Now, it was against these Orioles. Is he able to do that again? We have a few spots here on today's card where pitchers are facing the opposition for the second time in 5 days. And Savali is doing that. He went 5 1/3. It was a 3-1 loss. He didn't go up against Cole Irvin in that spot, but he pitched really well. And, one of the things that happened when Savali went over to the Rays was his strikeout numbers skyrocketed. They've slowed down. I don't really. I would need to study it more as to is he really kind of letting go from trying to get those high strikeout numbers that the Rays staff wants from their pitchers. Going up against Cole Irvin, the lefty. The Rays are smashing lefties, but Cole Irvin had no issues slowing down the Rays in his last start. Now, it was a 4-3 loss, but he only allowed 2 earned runs over 6 1/3 and looked really good. He's looked really good all year. 5-2, 2.84 ERA, 1.16 WHIP. He's looked really good all year. So Doug's saying a lot of value on Baltimore here.
Yeah, this line is flipped.
And Top Crocodile on Tampa Bay money line. Doug leaning Baltimore first 5. And Perky says fishy line here. I'm going to take the Rays. When the O's slump, they slump on the road. Trip getting beat by the Jays. I want Savali and the Rays money line. Let's take a look at the line history and the cash flow for this one. We'll start with the total. On this total, we are sitting within 8.5. It's minus 105 to the under. This opened up at 7.5. It's just climbed constantly. This got to 8.5 at 9:31 this morning, and it just continues to climb. And now it's juiced to the over. So we've gone up a full run. We know that Mikey Money was showing us that these full run moves were not working for cappers. It was a fade type of situation here. And then the Rays are at minus 113 over at Pinnacle. They opened up at now minus 111. It's come down a little bit, but they opened up at plus 105. So it's a big move towards Savali and the Rays. Let's take a look at the cash flow and see what that plan is here. Cash flow wise, we have 90%. We have 73% of tickets, 96% of the cash on the Orioles. And the lines move towards the Rays. 92% of tickets and 96% cash on the over, and it just continues to climb. Here we go. TJ, best bet. Take it away.
Yeah, I think you can read a lot into that line. I think I don't necessarily think the books think Savali is going to shut down Baltimore, but I think they're expecting a blow-up start here from Cole Irvin. You got a team in the Rays that's smashing lefties, like you said, and then Baltimore is the hottest team versus righties over the last 14 and almost the last 30 days. Especially I like those last 14 stats, especially against righties, because you still have a few hundred at bats. So on top of that, you have what was I trying to look at here? Oh, Cole Irvin, his surface stats, 2.84 ERA, look great, but his expected ERA is 4.51, and that gets even worse over the last 30 days, recent starts. So, I expect runs here. I don't trust either bullpen. Tampa Bay's peripherals are bad. Baltimore, we know, just continues to give it up. Even if it's a close game in late innings, you can't trust them. So, yeah, I'm on the over here. I tweeted it out at 7.5, and I tagged you guys in Pub Sports. So we're going to, if that counts as an official play, I'll take that over 7.5.
Oh, definitely.
You
Over
know, and
7.5. And what was the juice that you got on that?
let me look real quick. I think it was like minus 118 on Heritage. I'll look at my bet slip.
Over 7.5 for TJ, and we'll get the juice. Jose, your thoughts here on this one?
Yeah, it definitely seems like this might be Cole Irvin's time to get touched up here. The line completely flipping. Tampa Bay now favored. I just don't want any piece of Savali, so I'm just gonna cut him out. And unfortunately, it's juice, but juice in the places I can bet it. But I'll take a team total over here. 3.5 for the Rays. I'm only getting that's a shocking number. I was pretty surprised to get 3.5. It's juice, like I said, so I'm getting minus 135. I'll take that. I just think the Rays can get to. I think they can get 3 off Irvin alone, at least 3 or 4, and then their bullpen, obviously for the Orioles, is not anything to be very intimidated by. So I think this is a very gettable number, and I think the Rays can win this game. So if I think they're going to win this game, they're probably going to score more than 4.
Yeah, the yo-yo theory here. You know, I don't know why it I understand why it works this way. You got 2 pitchers that just saw the team. They pitched well. You know, so you get the bounce back, big starts, and then it works the other way for some reason. You pitch bad, you go against the same team, make some corrections, and you pitch well. I can't explain that one, but you certainly have that yo-yo theory here right now.
Yeah, I don't get it either. It's very
Wow.
weird, but yeah,
Listen
it always
to this.
happens.
What's your team total over 3.5 juice wise, Jose?
Minus 135 at Bovada, minus 140 bet online.
Do you know what it is at 365?
I don't know. It's scary.
Minus 175. And
Wow.
Coin can get it at South Point right now at minus 105. Imagine
What coin?
70 cents difference.
Yeah, you can get the over 4 at minus 110 also.
Because they're offering the 365 is offering the Rays team total over 4.5 at even money. Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, so I'll take 3.5 minus 135. That's what I'm be betting. So that's crazy.
So I think I want Savali. I don't think I'm running from Savali. Look, I know he hasn't been good this year, but he's got a high upside. We are being taught to trust the Rays' plans around pitchers. I don't see why with this market move. But DJ $100,000 on the Orioles win. The chat all over the Orioles winning. And I can understand. You don't have to care about that dog to favorite or where the market is. But it is.
Jimmy, you're not concerned about the Baltimore offense, huh? 412 at bats, 277 batting average, .856 OPS, and a 242 ISO. Freaking crushing right now.
They are, but I Trop is a tricky place where offense seems to go to die at times.
Yeah.
And the Orioles have been playing in front of packed houses. Now they're going to go to this sleepy field. And we always talk about how much of a sample size do you want? And I want more of a sample size personally. And if I look at the more of a sample size, it shows the Orioles. But maybe that's a mistake because, I'll be moving to May 15th for Tuesday. So maybe it's a mistake here. But Savali's a pitcher with a bag of tricks. That's what we know about him. He's got multiple pitches that are that grade well, and he was able to shut down this offense. The Rays. What are your numbers for the Rays against lefties in the last 14 days? Because since May 1st they've been raking.
Last 14 Rays versus lefties, 750 OPS, 263 batting average. They've slowed down a little bit.
Well, it's because of that one start against Cole Irvin.
Yeah.
Well, and I'll say since the 26th of last month to today, 140 plate appearances. They're still at 121 weighted runs created plus. 9th in the league. That's still very good.
121 weighted runs. What about the Orioles versus righties over the last 14 days? What's our WRC for them?
They are at first 146.
Okay. You know what? Maybe maybe there's just too much volatility. Catching that over 7.5 was crucial. Johnny K says both teams do digress under spot. And you know what, Johnny K, it's interesting because, Mikey Money was talking about those full run moves have not been, if you faded the full run moves, you were making a ton of money.
So it works with the same way as it does, like when it goes down, does it go up the same way when it 7.5 goes to 8? We supposed
That's
to
a
take the
good
unders,
question. He was
Mikey?
focusing on that first fives, that have gone 4.5, 3.5. So, with this market move, TJ, you still, if you had a free $500 bet, would still bet the Orioles?
No. I would not bet the Orioles here at all. I would bet Tampa if I had to pick a money line. I just think both teams are going to do well offensively. I like the over as a better bet. But if I had a free bet, it'd be on Tampa Bay here. Not because I trust Savali necessarily. I think they're going to get 3 off Irvin.
All right. Well, I'll spend more time with this Rays first 5, and I won't completely shut it down. TJ on the over 7.5. Justin McKelvey moving on the Rays -114. Jose, anything for you in Orioles-Rays?
Besides the team total, no. Is there? You're just not betting the team total because you're getting that -170 or whatever.
Oh no, I could move on to that Pinnacle. I just, I don't know. I guess my everybody's so heavy on the over. I guess that full run line kind of got in my head, and then Johnny K really all over the under.
What's the cash and money on the over? I know you already said it. And then does that include? What it's at now at 8.5, or is that total bets all day?
I think it's probably total bets all day.
Yeah, it's total bets all day. But it's just -136 to the over. Team total over 3.5 for the Rays. 92% of tickets, 96% of the cash on the over. 92 and 96 in the books. Taking notice. 73% of tickets and 73% of tickets, 96% of cash on the Orioles. Okay.
Yeah, Tampa Bay.
I'm going to spend a little bit more time on it, but I certainly am interested in Tampa Bay. We have the next best bet for TJ is Cubbies Reds, and we have one game in between that. And then TJ, you have interest in Houston Astros, LA Angels. Did you get to the window in that one?
No, I haven't yet. But,
okay.
I will by the end of the show.
Okay, so you want to come back for that one? Okay. Well, why don't you stick around here for the in-between game before your next best bet? And that's a very interesting one. 7:05 p.m. Eastern with the LA Dodgers, 39-25, 18-13 on the road at the New York Yankees, 45-19, 21-8 at home. We are in the Bronx for this one. And shout out to Nasty Nate, to Pete Loshak, to Swiss Horton. They're all meeting up for drinks.
Oh, what a game this would be to go to. Oh, my God.
They're not meeting up for the game.
Yeah, I know, but what if they went to this game? What a time. I know Pete doesn't. I would never imagine Pete at any kind of game, but oh, my gosh.
Pete has told me that he's got his Dan Levi sunglasses ready, his white Tommy Hilfiger sneakers, his gray Ben Sherman track jacket, Diane von Furstenberg water bottle, his Ralph Lauren purple label corduroy pants. He says it might be too hot for them, but he's okay with his balls sweating.
For fashion.
Yeah.
I get it. Nate, I hope you enjoyed Pete's sweaty balls tonight.
74 Fahrenheit at first pitch, 11.2 miles per hour to right field. It climbs up to 14.7 and then drops to 9.4 by the end of the game. Let's get into the line history here for Yoshinobu Yamamoto going up against Cody Poteet. Journeyman Cody Poteet has found a home with the mighty Yankees. We have this line. Oh, that's first 5. Sorry, let me quickly move over the full game. We have Yamamoto and the Dodgers at -137. They opened up at -120. 17 cents of movement towards the LA Dodgers. On the total here, we are sitting with a 9 -105 to the over. This opened up at 8.5, immediately went to 9. When we get to the cash flow for this Dodgers spot, we have it's 50-50, but 78% of the cash is on the Yankees. And when we get to the total, 75% of tickets, 72% cash is on the over. Yamamoto coming off a great start at home versus the Rockies. 6 innings, 1 earned run, 7 Ks, 1 walk. Been strong on the road all year, 2.60 ERA. .217 opponents batting average, over 27 and 2/3 with 34 strikeouts on that 27 and 2/3. Cody Poteet coming off the 7-3 win at the Giants. He looked okay. 3 runs, 2 of which were earned over 5 innings. He's not going to go deeper than that. And Doug says, remember, Soto might be hurt. Yes, we don't expect Soto to be in the lineup tonight. That's important. Dodgers versus righties since May 1st, 232, 711. We know Yankees are ripping the leather off the ball, 269, 823 OPS. Both bullpens have been very good. Not as good have the Yankees bullpen been of late. But take it away for us, Jose Bouquet, Dodgers, Yankees.
Yeah, so shout out to Troy as always. I wanted to take the Yankees, in this one. And then again, I said I cannot take the short home dogs. I cannot do it. And then I just refreshed my odds sites to see movement on the Dodgers. Woo! This line has climbed up. It's almost minus 140 at this point. It's minus 140 at Bovada, actually. And earlier today it was at minus 117. And it's like 50-50 cash flow with sharp action on the Yankees. I think the Dodgers go in here and win this game. I have a sneaky suspicion that they were kind of looking ahead for this series last time against the Pirates. Yamamoto is going to be his first time in Yankee Stadium. I mean, like, if you had to power rank the ballparks as a pitcher you want to pitch in, Yankee Stadium has got to be in the top 5. I'm sure he's going to be amped up against slapdick Cody Poteet. I think the Dodgers win here tonight. And, I wasn't as confident in the Twins to lay the juice. I think tonight this game is one of those that I'm more willing to lay the juice with it now. So I'm going to move on the Dodgers here, and I'm going to take a juicy minus 136 full game money line. And if I don't play this, Peter Loshak will slap me in the face next time he sees it.
Oh, yeah. Uh-oh. Huh?
TJ, what are your thoughts here for Dodgers, Yankees?
It's interesting because you have the 2 of the most heavily bet teams in baseball. The Lions always moving towards them, and then they're facing each other. So I would venture to bet, because the story on Juan Soto sitting out today came out about 4 hours ago. I'd venture to bet that big line move was at like 9:30. I don't have my service up, but I think the value now is on the Yankees. I wouldn't. Dodgers probably win, 55% of the time, but the line indicates more like 62% of the time. So if I had to make a bet here, it'd be on the Yankees at this point. But Soto means so much to him. Soto's so important to those numbers. Japanese pitchers do well in Yankee Stadium. I don't know why, but I guess it's that crowd, and they grow up watching the Yankees. So there you go. I got no action on this one. Not a lot of analysis. But yeah, after the line move, I think it's based off that Soto news because of last night. He was injured, but hurt, left the game, but they didn't necessarily say he was out today until this morning when it's undergo further testing. So, 20-cent move off that news kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, we have Lee Davis talking about the 32-game on-base streak for Judge. Watch that crumble immediately with Soto not around.
Yep.
I think if you're going to bet the Dodgers, I think you got to go -1 here because it could be a multi-run win.
Definitely. And if you take them first 5, it's got to be -0.5. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I'm right with you.
I'm
going to New York
I was going to say I'm taking full game because I trust the Dodgers bullpen. Go ahead.
But Coin loving New York on this winning streak, getting plus money at home. Same with Kelly McInnes. I'm with you. I think the Dodgers are it here. Jose, what did you get?
Minus 136 full game money line. Now I'm looking at the Dodgers bullpen now, actually. 31 pitches from Evan Phillips. I'd be surprised if he goes. Alex Vesia through 15. He'll probably go. Michael Grove, 28. He's not going. Trinan and Daniel Hudson through 16 and 18. So they're not fresh, I'll tell you that. But I think Hudson and Trinan both go today if needed. But we'll see how good this Dodgers bullpen is here, because this is a big spot here. But I think this is something they get torqued up for. So I'll stay with it. Full game.
So back to the money line here, 50-50 with 78% cash on the Yankees. Yeah, I think that the move is not action related. The move is just lineup related. They're expecting Soto not to be in the lineup. Let's see when the exact move happened at Penny. The exact move happened at 10:30 a.m.
Yep.
16 cents of movement. Yeah. Chase says until Yankees lose, I will keep betting them. Easiest money ever. Yeah, I think that it'd be taking advantage over all of the bias towards the Yankees right now. Taking advantage. Now it's not comfortable, of course. Trying to stop getting in front of a winning streak, but everybody making all this money on the Yankees, they're going to keep going back to the well. So
yeah, I think Dodgers slap him in the mouth here.
Okay, I'm very interested in joining. I think I should get that in now.
And by the way, if Soto does have the Jason Dominguez torn UCL, I honestly would be a little surprised if he went under the knife immediately and bam, that was his season. Like I kind of would expect him to hit still, but obviously he's about to be a free agent and be the highest paid free agent hitter since Ohtani was both ever. He's going to break Trout's record most likely, but we'll see what happens. I'm going to be very interested to see how that works.
I mean, to benefit him, would it be go under the knife immediately? He's done enough this season to earn his contract.
Exactly. There's another one, yeah. He could go under a knife right now and just take $600 million. I mean, he's getting 600, so we'll see. I don't know, but I'm on the Dodgers, so it'll be a fun game.
Yeah, I'm going to bet the Dodgers here. I think I'm going to bet it in the next 5 or 10 minutes here. Let's move on to the next spot on the board, and it is TJ's best bet. And then he will be back joining us for the Angels-Astros. Daby Cab's best bets are the last 3 games on the card. We'll have both Daby Cab and TJ for that Astros-Angels spot. My guy Griffin Canning's on the mound in that one, so I'm interested in talking about that one. But let's talk about this one. Chicago Cubs 31-32, 13-19 on the road at Cincinnati Reds 30-33, 15-17 at home. And Justin McKelvey stacks play today is Steer over 1.5 bases. We have Justin Steele, Nick Lodolo, 2 lefties on the hill. Cubs are not hitting lefties. 25.593 OPS since May 1st. Horrible. The Reds are hitting lefties. 254, 736 OPS. Lodolo's look great this year. 3.11 ERA, 0.99 WHIP, 49 Ks over 46 in the third. Only 4 home runs allowed over 46 in the third. Coming off a win at these Cubs, and he looked good in that. 6 innings, 2 Ks, 1 walk. He's been a little worse at home than he's been on the road, but still quality. 3.74 ERA, 19 Ks over 21 and 2/3. Danny's on the Reds money line, and Andrew G says, here come the Reds. My dude says, can't bet the Cubs. So Justin Steele coming off that 7-5 win at home versus the Reds, but he allowed 5 runs. Only one of them were earned in that spot. Only one of them were earned. Let's take a look at the situation here. We'll start with the weather in Cincy, 80 Fahrenheit, 12.8 miles per hour to left center. Very offensive weather. It ends up dying down to 8.2, but very offensive weather. Let's get into the line history here in this one. We have Cincinnati Reds at minus 124. They opened up at minus 115, 9 cents of movement towards Lodolo. Steele, since that injury beginning of the year, is just not look good, not look like the same guy. We have this total sitting at 8.5. It's minus 116 to the over. This opened up at 9 and dropped to 8.5. So it's offensive weather in an offensive ballpark. I mean, I haven't looked, but I imagine the money's going to be all over the over. We have 77% of tickets, 70% of cash on the Reds. And on the total, 96% of tickets and 96% in cash, yet this is dropping. Take it away, TJ. Best bet time. Floor is yours.
Yeah, this is a prime example of a group or groups pushing this line down and then coming back. Because if you look at it yesterday when it opened, minus 130 on the Reds, it gets bet all, the Cubs get a bet all the way down to minus 106, and then limits go up. And we see this thing bounce all the way back up to minus 125 where it is now. So this is like that, up and down curve. It's telling you something. And I don't see, even how those people thought it was going to move, how they even thought the Cubs were going to be in this game, because the Reds, the last 14 and the last 30 against lefties are the best team in baseball. The Cubs against lefties are one of the worst teams in baseball, a .558 OPS over the last 30. a little tiny bit better over the last 14. Their ISO is terrible. They're not hitting for power. They're not hitting for extra base hits, and then you got a clear edge on starting pitching, in my opinion. Lodolo's got a .99 whip on the season, so he's not allowing guys on base. So even though it's home run weather, they're going to be solo shots most likely if the Cubs get to him. The bullpens, Cincinnati got a huge advantage there over the last 14, last 30. They're pitching really well. 303 Sierra, 105 whip. They're striking out 27% of batters and only walking 6%. And the Cubs are just walking everybody left and right. They're not getting anybody to swing and miss. I don't see how Cincinnati doesn't win this game. I would like to take them -1 because I think you're going to get runs. I don't normally bet a home team -1, especially when it's cheap, only 125. But I'm going to throw that in the calculator while Jose goes, and I'll let you know.
We can give you a +121 right now.
Yeah, take it.
Pinnacle. TJ on the Reds at +121. That all makes sense to me. What do you think, Jose?
There we go. Jesus Christ. All right. I was fucking that up. Really, I think that Nick Lodolo is probably the best pitcher on the Reds. Andrew Abbott included, Hunter Green included. Like, I really think he's that good. And admittedly, Justin Steele was going to be a fade this year for me. And, that injury, maybe it threw him off. I just didn't think he was going to be as good as he was last year. And that's kind of easy to say because he had obviously a really, really good year last year. But I just like the Reds here. I don't have any action on it. I don't know what to make of the Cubs, really. The Cubs have vexed me, and I just don't know what to do. And them being underdogs here against the Reds really tells a lot. So maybe I should just have more respect for the Reds, but no action, though.
No action on this one. TJ moving on the Reds at +121. TJ, that makes a ton of sense to me. You're running real nice, and all of your action makes a lot of sense here. I get it. Mr. Eat says Cubs are a hot mess right now. Coin saying Cincinnati's a sneaky good pitching staff. Energy says, wow, looks like a great spot for the Reds. And Perky bumps Sanderson and Benjamin Mills on the Reds. I'm getting strange to get this better line. I was going to take the first 5 minus a half, but I'm getting 9 cents better at 365 than I am at Pinnacle. I'll just take the money line there. And then I'll use the -1 on the full game on the Dodgers. I'm going to lock that in here. We have our guy, TJ, coming back and joining us. We're going to be a four-headed monster for that Astros-Angels spot. TJ, absolutely great work. And love seeing you tweeting out that early action. And we want our guys to follow you on Twitter. We want you to be more active on Twitter as well. So I will pop your handle in the chat here, but we will see you again shortly. 10 straight winners for TJ. Keep it up, my man. And
sounds good.
All your way. Talk soon. There he is, TJ. All right, let's move on to the next spot here on the board. Guardians-Marlins at Lone Depot, Miami, Florida. Jose, can you set this one up? I would like, by the way, the Pissy Cereal play of the day, that's 2-0, is on the Guardians -125 here. Can you set this one up and hand it over to me? I want to get this action in.
What the hell, Morgan? I thought it was Pissy Cheerios. Morgan. We need consistency. But nice to see you, Morgan. So let's talk about the thing that I'm most excited about for this game. Tim Anderson versus Jose Ramirez on the same baseball field for the first time after their infamous fight. One of the best fights back last punches in baseball history. So shout out to them. But we've got Logan Allen versus Ryan Weathers here. And I like starting out with the market here. So let's do that. 79% of the bets and 98% of the money on the Cleveland Guardians here. This line opened up at our friends at Bet Online at not really even, -110 Cleveland, +100 Miami, and is now -105 each way there. Very interesting. Bovada opened this up -114 Cleveland, now up to -118. So slight movement up their way. And let's talk total here as well. 97 and 98% of the bets and money on the over in this game. Open up at an -115, -120 now to the under, and Heritage actually showing a 7.5, interestingly enough. And that opened up specifically there at 8 -113. Logan Allen, an interesting lefty who I also have gone back and forth on. He just got crushed in Colorado. But I believe that was his first start in his career in Colorado. I can double check that real quick. Yep, it was his first one here, unless I'm missing it. So obviously it was an easy fade spot there because we don't trust pitchers in their first time in Colorado, I should try to say. But I kind of do expect the bounce back here against a team in the Miami Marlins that we all know is not good in general and specifically not good against lefties here. Full season against lefties, they're dead last in the league. 68 weighted runs created plus, just horrific. And last month and plus this week we'll use as well. They are 27th, 75 weighted runs created plus against lefties. So it's been really bad. And now we have Ryan Weathers on the other side here, another lefty. And we'll talk about Cleveland against lefties here in a moment. But Ryan Weathers dazzled. He had his moments of brilliance, and then he came right back down to earth last time out against the Rangers. And not a horrible start. 6 innings, 9 hits, 4 earned runs, 11 strikeouts, no walks. So it wasn't horrible, but before that, 6 shutout innings, 7 innings, 2 earned runs, 8 shutout innings. So he'd been on a little bit of a hot streak, and he came back down to earth. Do I trust Ryan Weathers here? Not really. In Cleveland against lefties, let's mention them now. 6th best in the league full season. Last month, Cleveland is 10th, 111 weighted runs created plus. For those of you who like smaller sample sizes, I'll give you last 2 weeks against lefties. Cleveland is 159 plate appearances, 79 weighted runs created plus for Cleveland against lefties. So could Ryan Weathers shut them down? I don't know. I lean under after all this is said and done. I just don't think that the Miami Marlins will get to Logan Allen here. And I am, after talking it all out, semi-interested in Cleveland first 5 somehow, some way here. But I would love to hear what you have to say, Jimmy, because this line is even now. And that's pretty surprising when you have Cleveland on the let's just list 1,000-foot view. Cleveland Guardians, best record in baseball, versus the Miami Marlins, who arguably are the worst team in baseball. And right now, at Bovada, you can bet -106 Cleveland Guardians full game money line. So that line movement does indicate Miami Marlins might get the job done here today, but I don't know how they're going to get runs off of Logan Allen. I'm very interested to see how it goes. Jimmy, I know you love a professional day, and I know you love a bum fight. What do you think about this game?
I'm surprised that the market's telling us there's low volatility with these two pitchers, and I guess it's their weakness against lefties. But, I've been impressed with Weathers. I thought that last start was great. 11 strikeouts and no walks. I mean, yeah, he allows 4 runs against a Rangers team that's not really hitting lefties, but I mean, Weathers is pitching very well, having a much better season than Logan Allen. And I know Logan Allen just got lit up at Colorado, but he's been getting lit up everywhere. 293 opponents batting average on the road. I don't want to be involved here. I don't want to back the worst team in the league, or arguably the worst. I guess the White Sox are, but I don't want to back a horrible baseball team. And I don't want to back a favorite when the market's saying, "Oh, you want to bet the Guardians? Come do it here." I just this doesn't appeal to me. I guess I don't have a real good read. I still don't trust Weathers, and I don't really want Logan Allen. TJ says, in all honesty, that he bet Cleveland and then took Miami. Yeah, because he's uncomfortable. Kelly McKinnon says, dawned on me that Jimmy hasn't been pulling out the lipstick lately. Yeah, no lipstick on pigs as much. Although I will do that again. But Benjamin Mills says 2 extra days rest for Logan Allen. Yes, that could help him. This one doesn't appeal to me whatsoever. I'm ready to move right past it here.
Yep, no action for me either. I'd lean. If I had to gun to head bet, it'd be Marlins with the line movement, but I don't know how they score, so nothing.
Let's roll on. Next up for us, 8:05 p.m. Eastern, San Francisco Giants 30-33, 13-19 on the road at Texas Rangers 30-32, 15-15 at home, Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas. I think it's important to see what TJ did there. See what a winning gambler is doing. Thinking he has an advantage, realizing the market says you don't, and then buying out of it, eating a little vig. I mean, it's important to see. And when I used to watch Peter do it when we were in Costa Rica, and I get it. We have Logan Webb going up against Michael Lorenzen here in this one. Let's get into the line history. We'll start a full game. Webb, Lorenzen, two pitchers that I like. Webb is at minus 116 right now. Open up at minus 111. 5-cent move towards them. Take a look at the total. And from a total side of things here, we're dealing with a 7.5, minus 114 to the over. We've seen it at 8 at other books, but it's opened at 8 and dropped to 7.5. Right now, it's minus 102 to the under. What is the story on Seager's hamstring? Jose, do you know the situation here? Why don't you pull that up for us? Because that's an important note here. Let's get into the cash flow. Then for this one, we have 96% of tickets, 94% of cash on the over, and it's dropped to 7.5. I mean, that's hard not to pay attention to that. 40% of tickets and 83% of cash. So bigger bets coming in on the Rangers. And no, he's not, my dude. He's saying run away from it. He's saying he's definitely not on sale strikeouts. Lee Davis says is that 5 cents Seager. Logan Webb coming off allowing 4 runs at home versus the Yankees. Has not been great on the road for a long time now. 4.34 ERA, 287 opponents batting average. It's been years where he's just had this wild dichotomy of pitching phenomenal at Oracle and struggling on the road. To some extent, struggling. Michael Lorenzen having a nice year, 2.96 ERA, 1.17 whip, 6 1/3, no run, 7 Ks, 2 walks, 7-0 win at the Marlins, 3.26 ERA, 177 opponents batting average at home. The Giants aren't hitting righties, neither are the Rangers. I kind of like the under in this one. No problem, my dude, no problem. I kind of like the under in this one. And then, of course, it's so hot, so we know that Globe Life Field's roof will be up. Take it away, Jose, your plan for Giants-Rangers.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to move on this game either. I don't expect Corey Seager to be in there as well. Hamstring injury, and he just heard it like yesterday, 2 days ago.
2 days ago, yeah.
I think it'll take a little more, and I'd be surprised if he went on the IL. It doesn't seem like it's that bad, but it just needs to rest, and I don't think they'd throw him back in there. I don't know, so we'll see. 10 days isn't that long, so. But Webb, I just can't really trust on the road. We've had this conversation many times about home road pitchers and Logan Webb always being one of those guys that can be dubious to trust. She's right-handed as well, and if I had to pick a pitcher to go up against the Rangers, it definitely wouldn't be a righty. I'd rather have a lefty. They've been average against them all year, 100 weighted runs created plus. Last 2 weeks since I've got that split up. Right now, they're 23rd, 81 weighted runs created plus. So that's a good sign. And then if we take the full last month plus this week, they are Texas 23rd, 92 weighted runs created plus. That's kind of surprising indeed. I guess I'll stay off, but the under, like you mentioned, is semi-appealing now. I mean, the splits 96 and 94 is crazy. And did we go down, Jimmy? Did yours go down, I should say?
Sorry, just now?
Because I'm showing, or I should say, it opened up at 8, and there's 7.5s popping up here. So I'm assuming yours went.
Oh yeah, that went down. Yeah.
So yeah, I'd lean under with you there.
Yeah, and I still fear these bullpens. Texas bullpen's been bad all year. Giants bullpens looked a little better of late. We're also talking about a Giants team that doesn't have Lamont Wade setting a table, getting on base. I don't see why
no Seager. Yeah,
and we have the roof up. I don't see why this first 500 wouldn't cash. You're going to get. It's up to you. You could pay the lot of juice for the over for the under 4.5, or you could take the under 4 at a plus money spot. And you have all this money on the over. Now the issue is though is you have two pitchers with overall good numbers. I wonder why they're wanting to hammer this to the over with the weakness of the bullpen. Yeah, maybe I should just stay off of this. Logan Webb on the road. Lorenzen, maybe not quite as good as his numbers indicate, although I like him. I'll just leave it as a lean right now to the over. I don't think I get there, but I'll look at it again. Oh, sorry, at the under, first 5 under, but I'll look at it again at the end of the show. Robert Franklin on the Giants money line and says, what about the kid playing with all the errors are short for San Francisco? Yeah, Schmidt's a problem there. Are they going to keep using him there? I mean, it's an absolute disaster having him out there. I mean,
it's a good point, Hamburglar. That's a good point, Hamburglar.
But they have Brett Wisely playing short in the expected lineup. So that will hopefully be the case. Soler is doing nothing for me. Anytime I have action on the Giants, he's just having terrible at bats and not looking dangerous and not looking good.
Not even against lefties.
No. Giants money line though for Morgan Spooner. All right, let's roll on. Jose's Boston Red Sox in play here. 32-31, 18-13 on the road at Chicago White Sox, 15-48, 10-22 at home. Guaranteed rate field in Chicago, Illinois. Let's get to the weather in Chicago, Illinois for this one to get us off and rolling. We have, I guess, not that hot in Texas today, but the roof will be closed. We have 75 Fahrenheit, 10.7 miles per hour to left center. It dies down to 5.7. So weather really a non-issue. Garrett Crochet, we've already heard you want to talk about what Sharpie is doing. He's on the over 7.5 Ks with Garrett Crochet. Going up against Cooper Criswell, coming off a nice start, 6-3 win at home versus the Tigers. 5 innings, 1 earned run, 5 Ks, 1 walk. Hasn't been good on the road this year. 4.82 ERA. Opponents hitting 292 off him. Now it's just 18 2/3 of work. And Crochet has been very good at home. Very, very good. 61 strikeouts over 39 2/3. The interesting thing is the Red Sox are hitting lefties right now. They are. And TJ respecting BJ getting the Dodgers at plus money, no doubt. Benjamin Mills says, when was the last time the White Sox were faves? Andrew G says Crochet is going to get traded, needs to showcase. Crochet coming off 8 strikeouts and 1 walk in a 4-3 extra inning loss at the Brewers. I remember Billy Friedrichs just been eating off fading the White Sox anytime they're up and winning in a baseball game. Mr. Heat says White Sox first 5 calling me like Pookie and New Jack City. Let's take a look at the line history and the cash flow for this one. Weather, not a big deal. First off, the first 5 total is at 4. It's at 4, and it is juiced to the under. 10 cents of movement to that under. Let's get to the full game line history here for the total. Then we'll get into the money line. For the full game, we have the over 8 at minus 113, opening up at 7.5, now 8. A move to the over full game, a move to the under first 5. That makes sense, with the bullpens for the White Sox, especially. On the money line here, we have these White Sox sitting right now at a pick'em at Pinnacle. They opened up at minus 114. They're now minus 107. 7 cents of movement there. And then if we decided to focus on first 5, if you do like the White Sox, first 5 with Crochet, then he's expensive. I mean, it's minus 130 at some books, minus 135 at others. Take it away for us. Did we talk cash flow? Because that would be important here. 85% of tickets, 93% of cash on the over. 53% of tickets, 82% of cash on the Boston Red Sox. Take it away, Jose. What do you think of Cooper Criswell here, and do you think Crochet can shut these guys down?
By the way, to answer the question that someone had, the White Sox have been favored twice this year. The last time they were favored last month on the 15th against the Nationals, Crochet versus Corbin. The Nationals were on the road there. And then Cleveland versus the White Sox last month with Carrasco on the bump versus Crochet. So, yeah, obviously the only times the White Sox are favored is when Crochet's on the bump. I thought this line was pretty surprising and it might be an indicator of what's to come. The Red Sox aren't that good, and I'll continue to say I don't believe it. I don't think they can hit lefties. They've brought up some dudes recently that are right-handed that help. Like a guy like Bobby Dahlbeck. And Bobby Dahlbeck is not very good. Unfortunately, I love Bobby to death, but it's just not been great. I lean towards fading the Red Sox against lefties. But I'm more interested in waiting, letting this game go. White Sox score like 2 runs, 3 runs, whatever. Crochet pitches great. And then when the White Sox bullpen comes in, or when I know Crochet is about to be done, bet the Red Sox live then at a better plus money odds. So that is what I'm planning on doing. I hope I can execute that because as people know, I am trying to move here as well. So obviously follow me on Twitter and you'll see if and when I make that live bet on the Red Sox. But nothing here for me right now. I think the Red Sox do win this game, though, with a White Sox bullpen that's horrific.
JTEL, that was yesterday. We covered NHL, and it's up on our page. But I did figure out how to have a little bit more money on the Panthers at a better number, and that's to take him to win Game 1 and the series. So I'm going to take him Game 1 and the series, as well as Game 1. I think that I'm in such a good spot right now, but I do think I have an advantage. I really do. A lot of people think the Oilers are going to win the Stanley Cup, and I disagree with them. Joe Yeager said, is it a prime spot for the White Sox to win? Yes, it is. It's just it's expensive to take them first 5 and expensive to take them first 3. The last thing you want is the White Sox in an expensive situation. What is your expectation of Cooper Criswell here on the road?
That's a good question. I mean, he's not great, but he's been a solid pitcher for the Red Sox all year. Let's look at his last few starts to be specific here. His last one against Detroit was solid, 5 innings, 1 earned run. I just think he's going to be good against bad teams, and then against the good teams, he's going to get rocked. Like the Orioles, he gave up 7 earned runs. The Rays, he went back-to-back and got touched up on, but he's been generally solid all year. And no one on this White Sox team scares me. So obviously an under would be another thing that I look at here as well. But I'd like to see who the Red Sox throw out there to start off with. And I will definitely be live betting the Red Sox when Crochet comes out of there, starts looking shaky.
I want the White Sox. I just don't want the -0.5, but I might have to do that. I want the White Sox first 5. I think they can take care of business here. They used nobody in that game last night. I'm very interested in backing the White Sox here. First 5. I'm going to do it. I think there's a huge advantage with Crochet out there. Let's roll on. 8:10 p.m. Eastern with the Seattle Mariners 36-28, 15-17 on the road. The Kansas City Royals 37-26, 22-10 home. Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri. Take a look at the weather here in KC. Don't forget Daby Cab with 3 games coming up here for us shortly. 86 Fahrenheit, 10.1 miles per hour to left field. It stays around 10 miles per hour out to left field. Let's get into the line history here for this one. Go back to full game. Mariners Royals, Bryce Miller versus Daniel Lynch. We cashed that first 5 under yesterday. Part of our 2-in-1 day, 2-in-1 and a push. We have the Mariners at -131, opening up at -128. Important to note that this line opened up last night, 7:18 p.m. at -128. By 8:18 this morning, it was -115. Then the Mariners backers came out. They weren't around until then, or the market wasn't respecting them until then. From a total situation here, we have a 9 -111 to the over. Opened up at 8.5 and has moved to 9 and juiced to the over. So there's volatility in this one. Let's get to the cash flow here. We have 93% of tickets, 92% of cash on the over, line moving in that direction. 27% of tickets and 45% of cash on the Kansas City Royals. The Mariners aren't good against lefties, and the Royals can hit righties. Rand says, nice Mariner spot. KC relievers are bad. Joe Yurkovich says, take Crochet out over 16.5. They don't want to go to that bullpen. I hear that, but I don't think they care about these games. I don't.
What juice is that?
Yeah, I'd be curious too.
Joe.
Insane stat of the day from TJ. Seattle plus 12 run differential. KC plus 72. It's about Daniel Lynch. Lynch coming off a 7-6 loss at the Twins. 3 runs, 2 of which were earned, 2 jacks. But I think if you can expect Lynch to pitch okay here, and the Mariners don't have power against lefties, I don't see why the Royals, aren't live in this one. Now, their bullpen is atrocious, and the Mariners bullpen is really good. So maybe it would have to be a first 5 variety, but Bryce Miller coming off a 9-0 win at home versus the Angels where he threw 9 strikeouts. He's been bad on the road, 4.76 ERA now, 224 opponents batting average. It's just some of these hits that have been barreled on him. What are your thoughts here, Jose? Take it away. Mariners, Royals.
Yeah, the line moving to the Mariners too had me interested on the Royals. Well, I should say I was interested in the Royals, and then the line moved to the Mariners, and I'm like, but this game isn't red. I'll let you guys know that now in RotoWire, so we might get some weather in it. Daniel Lynch, I don't know what to make of yet. Not enough of a sample size for me to really get. I thought at one point he'd be the best pitcher in the staff, honestly, and he's pitched okay in his 3 appearances, hasn't even made 3 starts yet. 5 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, 2 of them earned against Minnesota is okay. But I just need to see more of Daniel Lynch here. And I will say again that the Mariners are one of the best under teams in baseball all year, and it makes sense to take unders with them because they're just a classic under team build. So I lean under, but nothing here for me again, unfortunately.
Yeah, Robert Franklin Royals money line. TJ saying only team with a better home record is the Phillies. Yeah, I'm gonna have to stay off. Morgan Smith says short sample size, 5 KC batters hitting 500 off Bryce Miller, who's trouble with his fastball. And the storm of concern here should be late. Lee Davis saying. Yeah, I don't feel good about this spot. Let's just go over the weather here too, because and also Jose, I'm going to go over the weather here from a weather network, but can you go over Bryce Miller's last few road starts while we do this?
Sure, yeah. Let's talk about good old Bryce Miller, who I think could sneaky really be good, and I wish that the Mariners would make the playoffs because they have a perfect playoff team. They just need more pop, but his road starts, he hasn't made a road start in a little bit now. He went back-to-back at home, but he went at the Yankees, 6 innings, 5 earned runs, 5 hits. At the Orioles, 5 1/3, 6 hits, 5 runs, 4 of them earned. At the Astros, 6 innings, 6 hits, 4 earned runs. At the Rangers, 4 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs. And then at Milwaukee, which is second start of his season, 7 shutouts. So that's, all bad starts there basically, but the opponents at least are very good as well. So now this will be probably the worst team he faces on the road, and it's still a good team in the Royals.
Yeah, I don't feel like I have enough of an edge in this one, but 93, 92 on the over, 73 and 50. Clear sharp action on the Royals, but it doesn't really appeal to me. Rand saying once the KC relievers come in, it is sketchy. No, you're right. Let's roll on to the next spot on the board. By the way, the Kansas City Royals are the spreadsheet dog play of the day, coming off a winner yesterday. Spreadsheet dog play of the day from our Ron Crawford. And shout out to you, Ron Crawford, my guy. We have Colorado Rockies at St. Louis Cardinals, Busch Stadium in St. Louis, Missouri. Cardinals have improved over the last little while, but still just 500 at home. Gomber versus Big Tits Lance Lynn here on the bump. Let's see how sweaty those tits are going to get. 86 Fahrenheit, 5.7 miles per hour out to right field. Not very windy. Wind changes directions at one point. It's not strong. Gomber coming off an ugly start at the Dodgers. Only made it through 3 innings, 3 walks. 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 jacks. On the road, he's been great this year. 230 opponents batting average. Now, the K to walk ratio isn't what you like, but that's not really his style. He's only got 43 Ks over 61 and 2/3 this year with 20 walks. Has allowed 11 jacks, but still, 3.06 ERA, 1.18 WHIP. We have Lance Lynn coming off a tough start, but no earned runs. It was 5-4 extra inning win at the Phillies. 4 innings, 4 runs, none of which were earned. At home, he's been good this year. 3.86 ERA, 222 opponents batting average. The Rockies don't hit righties, 239, 666 OPS, and the Cards don't hit lefties. They're hitting them a little better now, but 217, 611 OPS. So let's take a look at the line history and the cash flow for this one. First off, this total is at 7.5 right now. 7.5. This opened up at 8, dropped to 7.5 at 11:10 p.m. last night, came back up to 8 just for like 20 minutes. And then 7.5 until an hour and a half ago. Then it went back up to 8. And then 12 minutes ago, it dropped to 7.5. It's not a real 7.5. It's just pretty heavy to the over at -118, plus 101 to the under. So that is the total. Let's just take that look quickly at the money line here for this spot. From a money line standpoint, we have the Cards right now as huge favorites, minus 179. They open up at minus 191. There's been a move back to Gomber and the Rockies. When we get to the cash flow for this spot, we have 96% of tickets, 96% cash on the over, and then 91% of tickets and 90% cash on the Cardinals. Sharp action moving towards the Rockies. You got to think Rockies are alive. TJ says Gomber don't believe the 3.06 ERA. Been very lucky. Terrible underlining metrics. Only a 236 BABIP. Leave average is around 279. Interest in St. Louis team total or the -1. Take it away for us here, Jose Bouquet. We have Rockies, Cardinals.
No act. Well, I lied. Sorry. I don't have any action on the total here, but this is obviously one of my guys. And everyone knows that I battle against, Lance Lynn and his big sweaty tits and all that good stuff. But yeah, I'm going to be on the Rockies here. I'll trust Gomber. I know TJ saying he's very lucky, but I'll trust the king of the first 5 innings last year. He's been very good. Again, used very good in context because he's a Rockies pitcher, and we expect nothing but the worst from Rockies pitchers. But I trust him here. He coming off a bad start against the Dodgers. That's fine. He went 8 1-earned runs before that. Just been solid all year. And who doesn't love a little Rabenga? Who doesn't love a little Rabenga? The Austin Gomber trade was a poor. Austin Gomber was traded a part of the Nolan Arenado deal. This is the only thing they really got out of it. I like Austin Gomber going against his old team. Yeah, let's get some revenge here, Gomber. Let's be motivated, come out focused. First 5, Rockies money line plus 145 for me.
Rockies plus 145 on the first 5 for Jose. I'm going to be off of that spot. Let's move on to a game I'm very interested in. Very, very interested in. And we have both guests ready to rock for us for Houston Astros, Los Angeles Angels. Let's start by bringing in Capper, the star of Medicate Mondays, who's going to be rocking these last 3 games on the MLB card for us. And a man we love very, very much. Please welcome, big party in Dallas next week. A lot of Cappers going down to Dallas to hang out with our guy. Please welcome the Magic Man, Mr. Dabra Kadabra, to the show. Daby Cab, how are you?
Man, 1 for 14 with runners in scoring position. Kick me in the fucking nutsack. I'm not losing today, Jimmy.
We believe in you very much. You had a tough run of variancy here of late, and we believe in you very, very much. Let's welcome back TJ back to the program. We are going 4-headed monster here for this show. Let's roll. I love this game. Angel Stadium in Anaheim, California. Angels have been raking lefties. Astros have been hitting hard against righties. Wine times on Angels money line at plus 150. You guys know that I am a Griffin Canning guy and supporter. Framber Valdez coming off a great start at home versus the Twins. He's been very good on the road this year. 18 innings, small sample size, but 2-1, 14 Ks, 5 walks, 3.50 ERA, 254 points batting average. And we have Griffin Canning coming off a great start. Now it was allowed a solo shot. That's it. 1 run over 6 2/3 at the Mariners. Bullpen let him down. He's been strong at home after a bad start. 4.31 ERA, 254 points batting average. The K to walk ratio is poor. It's not what you want it to be. And let's get into the weather and the line history here for this one. Weather-wise, 69 Fahrenheit, 8.7 miles per hour to left center, dies down to 7.3 miles per hour. We get to the cash flow here. Thank you, Joe. You moved Canning up to a average pitcher now. We have, full game. Okay, we have Canning at plus 137. Opened up at plus 154. A huge move towards the Angels. They've been raking against lefties. From a total standpoint here, we have it sitting at 8.5 minus 114 to the under. This opened up at 8 and within 30 minutes moved 8.5. So there has been a move towards the over, despite it being juiced to the under. And when we get to the cash flow here, 77% of tickets, 90% of cash on the over, 85% of tickets, 86% cash on the Houston Astros here. Lee Davis says, interesting note from the Angels announcers from the game of San Diego. The Angels have had the toughest schedule up until then and will have the second easiest going forward. So here we go. I'm interested in the Angels as well. Daby Cab, best bet number 1 for you. Take it away.
Yeah, like I said, I'm a little frustrated. So I'm gonna, if you guys want to talk about the pitchers or the matchup, we can do it. But I'm gonna get straight to the point with it. I know Alvarez went 0 for 4 last time I was on him. His first pitch, he hit 108 miles an hour. It had perfect backspin on it. It had a 30-degree launch angle. That's a home run or a double literally 95% of the time. So before you say, oh, he's not seeing the ball, he absolutely was still destroying the baseball. In his last 10 games, he's still hitting 353. He's got 12 hits, 3 home runs, 6 RBIs, 5 runs scored. And he scored in 9 of the last 10 games, either an RBI or a run. So I was looking at his RBI hits, runs, RBIs, hits. Sorry, hits plus runs plus RBIs. God damn, I can't speak right now. Told you I'm frustrated. But I think I'm just going to make it simple and stick with the over 1.5 total bases. He's got a lot of history with Canning. Not a lot, but he's got 9 at-bats in the last just couple years here. 4 for 9 in those at-bats, 2 home runs, 3 RBIs. 11 plate appearances, so he does also have a couple walks. One of them was intentional. I looked into it. But still, that's a 444 average, a 545 on-base percentage, 1.11 slugging percentage. I'm on Alvarez over 1.5 bases. And I strongly considered adding the hits plus runs plus RBIs. The only reason I didn't is because if I'm going to add, I'm just going to add more money to my bet. But if there's a point in time where I need to, maybe diversify a little bit to for other reasons, I'll do that. But for right now, I'm just sticking with the course.
Yeah, I get it. Alvarez 444, 1.656 OPS here. I get it. The Angels have great numbers against Framber as well. It's sort of both sides of the fence here. The Angels lineup has seven home runs off of Framber Valdez. Now I know they have history, but Tucker also has nice numbers against Canning here. Altuve does not, though. That's going to be helpful here. Look at that. We have the El Dorado custodian, Jason Meyer, with a $50 dono. Thank you, man. We got the pleasure of hanging out with the El Dorado custodian at Pupapalooza 2. He was there with us, and it was great. Thank you so much. Blessing our action here, Jason Meyer. Thank you, man. It means a ton to us. So we have Yordan Alvarez over 1.5 bases. What was the juice, Cab?
Minus 114.
Minus 114. TJ.
Yeah, the 2.5 hits, runs, and RBIs is plus 105. So I really strongly considered that. But like I said, for right now, personally, I'm just going to put more money on it. I think where I'm at. But there might be a time when I take both bets and split it. If we'll see.
And that is true. Tucker is not in the lineup. This is the expected lineup at this point. Altuve, Bregman, Alvarez, Myers, Pena, Diaz, McCormick, Abreu, Cabbage. That is the expected lineup for the Astros. TJ, take it away. Your thoughts on the LA Angels.
Yeah, I like Dabby's bet. Both these teams are rocking opposition. The Angels right up there at the top, the last 14, last 30 against lefties, and the same can be said for righties for Houston. A lot of excellent BVP here. You already talked about Bregman and Alvarez, but you go up, you look at the Angels, and the top of their lineup just smashes. I think Taylor Ward's 14 of 28, and you got some other guys up there that are just smashing. Rambler with a lot of history. He's not striking them out. So I've kind of been – the reason I wanted to wait is I wanted to see what this first 5 total did. And, there's just no movement. So I want to isolate the first inning, kind of like I did earlier with the Nerfy. We're going to go the Yerfy here, over a half a run. I got minus 107 at Heritage right now. I just want to isolate those top 4 batters against the pitchers, 1 inning. Get me 1 run. Believe in the history there. I like the wind blowing out because it's slight. It's 8 miles per hour, but I spent a lot of time in that stadium. And the later innings, once the marine layer comes in, that's why I don't like to do full game Angels totals over. I'd stick with first 5 or first 3, but first inning here for me.
Hey, we're going to cash at the same time. How's that sound? Well, actually, fuck that. I don't want you to have to wait. No, they're visiting team. Okay, I was thinking they were home for a split second. It's like I don't want you waiting until the last batter to cash, but No, we're cashed at the same time. Top of the first inning. How's that sound?
Let's do it. Jordan, home run.
Boom.
Why has there not been moved to the over first 5? I wonder. It doesn't really make a ton of sense, except for Framber coming off that really strong start and Cannon getting better as the season's gone on. Jose Bouquet, your plan for Astros Angels?
Yeah, I think I agree with Joe Yurkovich. The Astros are continuing to be overvalued. They're definitely my Rangers this year. I don't think they're a good ball club, honestly. They can hit, and it has kept me off the Angels, honestly. But I do like an Angels team total here. It's 3.5. It's plus money too. That is a little worrisome that they'll give it to us. 3.5 plus 105. And Framber Valdez, like you mentioned, his numbers against the Angels, not good. And I'll say he dominated the Angels up until like the last few starts. His last 2 starts against the Angels, he faced against them earlier this year. 5 innings, 8 earned runs, 10 hits, 3 home runs allowed. His last start against them last year at the Angels, 6 1/3, 7 hits, 5 earned runs, 2 home runs allowed, 13 Ks, by the way, 2 walks. Those games were 7-9 and a 13-12. And they lost both those games. They're just these are high scoring games. I just don't know if I can trust the Angels to come through for me. Their numbers against lefties are ridiculous. And I'm interested to see. I don't remember if the Astros had an off day yesterday to see how their bullpen has lined up here. But Angels team total is definitely looking mighty juicy for me. So I'll let you guys know if I move on it. No action for me yet, though.
Yes, the Astros had an off day yesterday.
Yeah. So full ready to go. And I don't love Josh Hader hasn't thrown since Monday. And Brian Abreu has 2 days off. And those are the 2 dudes that I'm actually worried about. So no action for me right now.
I have some interest in the Angels. I don't know if after breaking it down with everybody that I got there. I don't know if I did. 15-cent difference in price, though, for the Angels. The Angels' bullpen's actually been better over the last little while after a horrific beginning of the year. Troy looking at the under. Troy Torrance in the house. Great to see you, Troy. I don't think I get to the Angels anymore. And I'm surprised that this first 5 has not been moving. I'll put the question marks beside the Angels' first 5. Daby Cab sticking around with us for the last 2 games. Let's review TJ's action here for us on the show. Of course, TJ's hit 10 straight winners. He's on the Nerfy in Minnesota, Pittsburgh, and the Twins money line. I'm going to be joining him on the Twins money line. He is on Irvin under 1.5 walks at -110 in Braves Nationals. He is on the over 7.5 in Baltimore, Tampa. And he's on the Reds -1 at +121. Reds -1 at +121. And then he closes up his card today with the Nerfy. Oh, sorry, the Yurfy. The Yurfy in Astros-Angels. Yes, run first inning at -107. TJ, great work, my man. It's great to see you in business. TJ will be with us weekly here on the show. And do follow him because he beat that run move by a full run in the one bet that he wanted to tweet out. So this is his handle. I'll pop it in the chat so you guys can follow our guy TJ and keep winning. We need it. 10 straight for him. Troy saying that the Twins qualify for the sharp trap. Twins qualify for the sharp trap there. TJ, thank you, man. Any last words for the Capper supporting the show?
No, man. Let's win today, and we'll see you next week.
There he is, TJ, coming to us from upstate New York, not far away from the spa. We're going to be there all day Saturday. All right, we have 2 games left before we get into NBA and WNBA. Let's get over to our next spot on the board. My guy, Brandon, fought on the bump, going up against a pitcher that I can't quite figure out, Michael King, for the Padres. We're at Petco Park in San Diego, California. Let's take a look at the line history here for this one. We have... Actually, why don't we start with the weather in San Diego? It is 65 Fahrenheit, 6.9 miles per hour to right field, dies down to 5.9. get into the line history and the cash flow. From a line history standpoint, I have the first 5 up, so we'll take a look at it with Fought and King because this has gone down to 3.5. This first 5, very low number. This opened up at 4.5. Now it's minus 124 to the under. I don't know if we can call that a full run move to the under, but it has moved from 4.5 to 3.5. Take a look at the full game total here. We have, let's go over here. Sorry, taking me a second. We have this sitting at 7. 7 at a pick'em. Wow. And we just saw a low scoring game last night. This opened up at 7.5 and it moved to 7 at 9:30 this morning. Get over to the cash flow for this one. We have 96% of the tickets, 92% of the cash on the over, and it's dropped a half run. Fishy, 74% of the tickets and 94% of the cash, 74 and 94 on the Diamondbacks. See what's going on with that line movement here. Go back to money line. A lot of money on Fought here. And the Padres and Michael King have gone from minus 120 to minus 123. So, sorry, I said that wrong. A lot of money on the Padres here, and the line has not moved. 74%, 94%. Line has not moved. Funny. I'm a Fought fan. Coming off 5-4 win at the Mets. He didn't look that good. Did throw 8 strikeouts over 6 innings, but 4 earned runs allowed. He's not being that good on the road this year. He's been better at home. 4.71 ERA. Now 42 strikeouts and 42 innings with a 219 opponent's batting average. And then Michael King's been the opposite. He's been barreled up at home. Now he has a 208 opponent's batting average, 37 strikeouts over 26 2/3. Coming off a really nice start at Kansas City. The Diamondbacks aren't hitting righties, 243, 705, and we know that the Padres are. Take it away here for us, Daby Cab. What's your best bet in this one?
Man, I just get frustrated sitting here with this here. I said it when I came on. 1 for 14 with runners in scoring position it's unreal, okay? But they still did what I expected them to do against the righty as far as in terms of getting base runners on and getting hits, right, in the game. You look across this Padres lineup, Profar hitting 323, Arise hitting 381, which is fucking crazy. Tatis, 277. He's got 10 home runs right now. Cronenworth is hitting good. And for anyone who didn't see the last call of that game, I'm not saying they score that guy from second base. They were already 1 for 14. They were probably going to go 1 for 15. But that was one of the worst fucking strike 3 calls I've ever seen in my life. Did either of you guys see that shit?
No.
I did, yeah.
Dude, in a 1-run ball game with a guy on second and a 2-2 count, you cannot call a pitch that's 2 feet off the fucking plate a strike. But they did. So that's where we're at. Anyways, I'm just saying this team is still hitting righties. They're hitting over 300 in the last 10 games. They're hitting over 270 on the season. I think they hit them today. I took this bet last night. I tweeted my bets out, about 2 o'clock in the morning. Actually, it was like 1:30. And I got bad line movement on this one. I took it at minus 124 over 3.5. You can get minus 111 now at over 3.5. But it is what it is. And the next game, I got great fucking value in what I took. This one, I kind of took the ass end. I don't care. The Padres are scoring 4 runs today. It's a complete joke they didn't score it yesterday. And I would be even fucking more mad when I sat here and didn't bet this game tomorrow after I watch them cash tonight. So I'm betting it again.
Very, very, very interesting breakdown. Padres team total over 3.5, minus 124. Is that right? Minus 124?
Yeah.
Jose Bouquet, Diamondbacks, Padres.
Yeah, this game is screaming under to me, Jim. And I think this is going to be the first one of these, all the money's on the under, and then the line goes down type unders that I've been taking in a while now. We've talked about, obviously, how that like cashed out for us for the first month, and they went cold for the second month. But I think that I like Fought. I agree with you. He's a rotation kind of guy. And King has been particularly, confusing. I never know what to get from the guy either. But 96% of the bets, 92% of the money on the over, and this opened up at 7.5 minus 115, and we're getting 7s across the board now. I'll take the under. It's a little scary, but I'll trust the markets here. I like both pitchers. Both bullpens are good enough, and we'll ride.
What is the number that you're getting?
I am getting, let me do a quick back here. I'm getting 7 minus 108.
Under 7 at minus 108 for Jose. There is liquid on my tits bouquet. I get it. It's just so low. It's just so low. Certainly the market's telling us, though, that this game will go under. Just a little uncomfortable. But I'm going to take another look at that at the end of this one. Let's move on to the final game on the board. Again, Cabby on the Padres, team total over 3.5 minus 124. We have the Toronto Blue Jays at the Oakland A's. Blue Jays 30-32, 14-17 on the road. Oakland A's 25-39, 14-18 at home. We're Oakland Coliseum in Oakland, California. Let's get to the wind in Oakland. It's 60 Fahrenheit. It's cooled back down to regular temperatures, 12.3 miles per hour to right field. We know that it swirls, so the wind is not a big deal. Chris Bassett going up against Hogan Harris. Let's take a look at the line history. We have Hogan Harris. Make sure it's full game. Yeah, we have Hogan Harris at plus 142. Plus 142. They opened up at plus 119. So the Jays have gone from minus 136 to minus 162. A huge move towards the Toronto Blue Jays. And we've talked about the Blue Jays, and I'll keep saying it. The Blue Jays are a team you want against the very best teams in the league. They've not shown the ability to smash bad baseball teams. This total is sitting at 8. It is at 8. Opened up at 7.5 and moved to 8. They're saying there's implied probability. I fear that Bassett is getting a little long in the tooth. When we get to the cash flow here, we have 89% of tickets, 93% cash on the over. It's gone up a half run. 85% of tickets, 95% of cash on the Blue Jays. Benjamin Mills says Blue Jays on a cross-country trip with no day off, and says teams in that spot are 11-5 this season. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Chris Bassett, last start, 5 innings, 3 in runs, 8 hits, and a 5-4 win at home over the Pirates. He's just laboring. Nothing looks easy for him. He's been fine this year, 4.13 ERA. The whip is high. The walk count is high. But it just feels like everything's just difficult for him. Hogan Harris is a pitcher I don't trust, but he's looked good in 14 1/3, allowed 2 jacks, 15 Ks, and 6 walks. His last start, just 1 earned run allowed in the 6.5 extra inning loss at the Rays. And we know the Rays have been smashing lefties. Joe Yurkovich says Bassett in this stadium is very good. Yeah. But how long ago was that? I find it difficult. I watch him closely, and nothing's easy for him right now. There's times where Bassett looks like he can throw when he's on and completely comfortable. He's getting soft contact. He doesn't need strikeouts. He can get through a complete game in 100 pitches. I don't feel like that is what I'm watching. And again, I don't even know if it always helps. I think it hurts you at times to watch all these games. Jays versus lefties are horrific. 226, 629 OPS since May 1st. A's are hitting them okay. The Jays bullpen's been a problem. The A's bullpen is slipped up in the last, since May 1st. Take it away, Daby Cab. Best bet time for you, the third of your best bets. Jays, A's.
This is going to sound funny, but I already said it. I'm not losing a bet today. I'm not. And then you and Jose both like the under, which is fine in the other game because I can get 4 runs and it can be 4-0. It can go way under.
Uh-huh.
But I'm telling you, I'm not losing a bet today. You guys both like the under, which is kind of contrary. You kind of sounded like you really like the A's here, and I get it. I'm kind of back in my comfort zone. It's better now. I hate when everybody's on the same side as me. I guess I'm against you guys because I took the Jays here. I took them before the line movement, straight up on the money line, minus 132. Bassett's going against his old team where I agree with Joe. He's comfortable, man. I could go pitch somewhere where I was comfortable, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, and it's just, getting in your comfort zone as a pitcher is a great thing. He was there for 6 years with them. I mean, that's a long time. He's 2-0 against them since he's left with a 2.67 ERA and a 1.04 WHIP. For what you want to take out of it. And I know you know this team intimately, Jimmy. I mean, you know the Blue Jays better than I do. I just going against his old team here. He had the 2 starts where he gave up 0 runs against the White Sox. Now it's the White Sox, so who really cares? But this is the A's. They hit about the damn same as the White Sox do, and we're in a ballpark that plays towards unders. We all know that. I would be less comfortable if he didn't give up a few runs against Pittsburgh in his last start. The fact that he did makes me more comfortable getting back on Bassett here. So I'm on the Blue Jays. I took him on the money line minus 132. That's moved a ton.
It's moved a ton. Got a great number on it, no doubt about it. Crystal Craig says, agree with you 100% about Bassett. He never looks well rested. It's funny. We watched last year, right, Crystal, when he was calling his own pitches. Then he stopped doing that and let the staff take control of that. And then he started looking better. He's just laboring out there. Now I hear what TJ's saying. Soft contact, high BABIP for Bassett will come down to the mean. And you got a great line here. And Remo said that you sold him on the Jays. Jose Bouquet, Blue Jays, and I'm biased about the Blue Jays. I
know you know this team intimately,
but I'm biased about them, and I want them against the best teams in the league as dogs. I really do. I don't want them as big favorites here. I just don't trust them. And we're asking these guys who, routinely play in front of 40,000 people to step up and be sharp in front of 1,000 people. And I just find it very tricky to believe in that here. Jose, take it. No, but look, the market is saying that Jays are going to take care of business comfortably here. Take it away, Jose. Jays, A's.
I didn't want anything to do with this game, so I can keep it short. Hogan Harris, not someone I trust. I think Chris Bassett's Blue Jays days are numbered, and I expect him to pitch well. But I just minus 155 for this Blue Jays team. No thanks. No action for me.
No action there for.
Matty Ice did DM me on Twitter and gave me the taint play of the day. Shout out to Matty Ice. Reds first 5 minus a half plus 105 for Matty Ice.
He's not still banned from the chat, is he? Because he DM'd me on Monday during one of the Medicate Mondays and said he couldn't talk in the chat.
Well, he was talking yesterday.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because we need Matty Ice in here. Shout out to Matty Ice.
I really there's people having problems with the chat that haven't been banned. I don't know what's going on. There's some, but they're not banned. We can see who's on the banned list. So Matty Ice was never banned, and Jay Peasy was never banned, and Mikey Money.
Well, I don't know if
banned.
he said banned. He just said he couldn't for some reason. He couldn't put anything in the chat, so he sent me the play to my DM. Okay,
cool. Yeah, he was with us yesterday. We had Taint yesterday. What was Taint? I could pull this up here in a second, but we had Taint yesterday. All right, let's review action here from our cappers in the chat. Let's review action and from everybody on camera. We have Brizzy joining us here shortly. Back-to-back winning days, but not enough for me, and 0-2 bothers me in CFL. So here we go. We have the Tigers' first 5. Do we know who's pitching now? Does that come?
What?
That
you guys
would
bet
help.
something you don't know who's pitching?
No. That's
I want Reese Olson bounce back against the Brewers. I want him. I want Reese Olson at home. I haven't bet it yet. I want to know who's pitching. But
okay.
No pitcher still for me. Nothing listed on the books.
It's the game is listed though now, and the Brewers are slight favorites. I'm sure it's a bullpen day for the Brewers, who have a decent bullpen. Then we have TJ on the Nerfy and Twins Pirates. Smooth balls play today is Mitch Keller over 5.5 Ks and Cooper Criswell over 4.5 Ks. That's a plus 233. TJ's on the Nerfy and the Twins money line. I'm interested in the Twins money line, but we have been told from Troy Torrance that it is the sharp trap situation. Jose, your card starts with the Nats first 5 at plus 165, and you're on the under 8 in Atlanta, Washington. I'm a little hesitant about going back to the under but I'm interested, and we'll look at it again. Then we have Irvin under 1.5 walks at minus 110, and Gerald Jones is on that first 5 under 4, and that's what I did cash yesterday. Lit picks. I'm a gamble till I die play of the day. Oh yeah, Professor Chris, Reese Olson's pitching. We don't know who's pitching for Milwaukee. We know that. I'm a gamble till I die spot play today from Lit Picks. He's all over the Orioles. First 5 run line at plus 114, and the O's money line minus 118. Bounce back record. The I'm a gamble till I die is 7-3 here. TJ's on the over 7.5 in Orioles-Rays, and I'm interested in the Rays first 5. Going to spend a little more time on it. I bet the Dodgers first 5 money line and full game -1. Jose's on the Dodgers full game. And Troy Torrance says, holy shit, sharp traps galore today. Twins, Mariners, Giants, Guardians, and Brewers. Wow. Copy and paste that information from our guy Troy's database. History says 4 of those 5 teams win. 4 of those 5.
I feel thankful. I was like running through that one GIF where that fucking mascot's running through and there's explosions going around him. That's how I feel avoiding all those sharp traps today. Thank you, Troy.
Wow. So then we move on to TJ on the Reds -1 at +121. Justin McKelvey on steer over 1.5 bases at +114. And we've heard that Matty Ice taint play today is the Reds first 5 -0.5 here with Lodolo. I'm interested in the Reds as well. I'm not sure exactly what to do with that. The Pissy Cheerios play of the day, Guardians money line. That's 2-0 for Morgan Spooner. Viper NB is on the Cleveland money line. I have stayed off of that spot, as has Jose. I have some interest in the first 5 under in Giants Rangers. I don't know if I'll get there. I want the Chicago White Sox first 5. I just got to decide how much I should let it cost me. But I really do want a Crochet against Criswell. I think I have a big advantage regardless of the players behind Crochet. Mariners Royals, we've all stayed off. Jose's on the Rockies, first 5 +145. Morgan Spooner's on Giants money line. Yankees Dodgers over 9 and the Orioles money line. Ron Crawford spreadsheet dog play today is the Royals. 12-8 +9.13 units is Ron Crawford in the spreadsheet dog play of the day. And then Daby Cab gets his card started with Yordan Alvarez over 1.5 bases. TJ's on the Yurfie -107. And I don't know if I got to the Angels. I think there's a lot of volatility in this game, and I don't know if I got to the Angels on the plus money spot, even though the market is indicating they're live. And I do like Griffin Canning. I'm going to spend more time on that one. Cab is on the Padres, team total over 3.5. Jose is on the under 7 at -108. It's a low number, but I get it. Daby Cab is on the Toronto Blue Jays at -132, and that is our baseball breakdowns today. Daby Cab, we have a huge horse racing show on Saturday. I hope that you and Jose can join us after Say Hey plays of the day tomorrow. You swept the board last Saturday. And Medicate Monday on Monday, but you're also having a big party down in Dallas. Why don't you let everybody know what's going on in Dallas, my man?
Yeah, we're going to be down here. Jose is going to be here. LJ is going to be here. Dutch is going to be here. T's going to be here. Sounds like the Don, the OG Slaughter is going to make it down here. So I want all you guys to make it here too. We're going to go out for game 4 of the finals. If anybody's here for game 3, I'll meet you too. I think most people won't get here until game 4, but we're going to go out for game 4 of the finals. We're going to hang out, have a few drinks, and have a good time, man. It's going to be a blast. I hope to see you guys there.
Is that a live stream at Hooters possibility?
I would love to do that. If we can make that happen. I did talk to Slaughter. We're going to interview as many people as we can at American Airlines Center at the game.
Okay.
Hopefully, shut up, Jose. Don't say what you're about to say. Jose is about to say he wants to get the fans coming out after they get swept in game 4. Tell me that wasn't what you're going to say.
No, I was going to say I think I would be thrown out of the Hooters for my behavior, but continue.
Man, if you get us thrown out of the Hooters the first time there, that's not cool. But listen, we're going to be at the stadium at American Airlines Center, and that's where it's going to be a blast. You know, they got the big giant screens, so even if you don't get tickets to go in to watch the game, you can stand outside. I know it's hot in Texas, but at nighttime, it's not that bad. A cool breeze, you know, put some shorts on. It'll be a blast.
Jimmy, you already know what's going to happen there. I'm going to get fucking jumped.
I swear to God.
Yeah. I'm gonna get fucking jumped. I'm gonna be that one Boston Bruins fan in front outside of the fucking Leafs arena. Obviously, Leafs fans are too nice to jump that man, but I want to say there's like a 67% chance that I get shanked in the back at some point when I'm cackling, laughing at these fucking losers outside watching the fucking loser ass Mavericks.
Listen, Jose. I can't watch a friend get their ass beat, so obviously I would help you. But this is Texas, and I'm going to have weed on me, so I will put it in your pocket when the cops show up. I just want you to know that.
Okay, good to know.
That's fair. That is fair. Dabby, we love you, man. Please support our guy Daby Cab on X at Daby Cab. Puts out all of his action here, and he has told us he is sweeping the board today. Again, Daby Cab's 3 bets: Jays money line, Padres team total over 3.5, and Yordan Alvarez over 1.5 bases at -114 for Daby Cab. Any last words for the Capper Sport and Show, Cabby?
Tomorrow, guys, you got horse racing. We got baseball in the morning, and we'll live bet it during the horse racing. I don't have lessons tomorrow, Jimmy, so I'll be on there to live bet some baseball with you. Thank you, guys, man. Let's get paid today.
We'd love it. There he is, Dabra Cadabra. It is time to talk NBA. And honestly, I am uncomfortable with how easy it was for the Boston Celtics. I didn't want the first game to be just domination. That makes me a little uncomfortable. But my big point, and I spoke, with Mikey Money about it in both spots. Mikey Money, he's on the Mavericks and he's on the Oilers, and I'm on the Celtics and I'm on the Panthers. I keep coming back to it, but after Luka watches the Celtics celebrate the NBA championship, he's going to be a man on a mission. Now, Jokic won a championship in his first opportunity. I mean, it's not a black and white thing, but I just think it's so crucial to lose in the finals and understand how hard it was and how exciting it was to get all the way to the finals and then lose. And until Steph Curry flexed his muscles to the fans at TD Garden, it looked like the Celtics were going to win that series. A 4-2 loss, stuck in their head. Jimmy Butler forcing his way past the Celtics. But we've got a lot to talk about, and we have just the man for the job. He's been crushing NBA with us in the second half of the season. Please welcome from South Jersey. He was on the Celtics last night. Please welcome Billy Brisbane to the show. Brizzy, how are you, my man?
I'm doing good. Nice little Friday afternoon here. We got a bunch of fucking games, and they're all stuck at the 10 o'clock window. So I'm more than glad to talk to you about some sports before we just have everything compiled up at the 10 o'clock window tonight.
Yes, and we listen to you guys as well. We are going to talk the 4 WNBA games after we talk game 2 of the NBA Finals. We will have a live stream hosted by Jose Bouquet and Mikey Money on Sunday. I will not be there for the Sunday. Maybe I'll pop in for a bit, but I've got the 12-hour horse racing show tomorrow, and I will be a little hungover and regrouping for that game. But let's talk about game 2. Boston leading the series 1-0. Let's get into the line history. After a dominant performance, makes me so uncomfortable. Let's just start there before I even give the line history. Brizzy, if you were on the Celtics for this series, would you have rather the Celtics beat them by 5 or 6 than destroying the Mavericks?
Well, remember that one stat I gave you last night about teams being favorited in wait, let me bring up the exact stat.
Sure. While you bring up the stat, I will go over what happened with line history here in this one. Right now, if you want the Boston Celtics, they are available at -7 at -105. They open up -7, -107. So we've had 2 cents of movement towards the Dallas Mavericks. I think I bet the Mavericks in this spot. You guys know that I have 2 units, and that's not huge, but it's $500 on the Celtics to win game 1 in the series at -135. And I don't have futures in NBA, so I'm not uncomfortable about getting down to the finals or anything like that to send into the local. I kind of stayed away from all of that. The totals at 214.5, it's -108 to the over. We cashed at under 223.5 live. And BJ says easy fade of a public dog. Yeah, no, it was. And we had, when I went on last night with Mikey and then 3 more cappers followed suit, we're all on the Mavericks. And Yeah, it was they were a very public dog with the line moving a half point to the Celtics. I mean, we know that situation. We've been through that situation. We know what public dogs do, especially in NFL. Now, public, well, but let's go into this right now. We have 54% of the tickets and 45% of the cash for Sunday night's game on the Boston Celtics. On the total here, we have 94% of tickets and 93% cash on the over. There's been no movement. Al Cervic says Mavs plus 4.5 at plus 128, and he is out. Justin McKelvey, it's not. There's not that much difference between 125 unit and 250 unit, really. My unit size hadn't been moving until January 1st, right? And then all I did was, add a small amount to them, but I hadn't. These were my unit size when I went down to Costa Rica in 2017. They hadn't changed until January, and that's a sign that I wasn't succeeding the way I want to. Here we go. Why don't you touch on that stat before we break this all down, Brizzy, that you had set up?
Yeah, the game one favorites in the finals, 15-3, 16-3 since 2005 ATS wise. When the spread's -5.5 or greater, they're 10-1 ATS, and the only team that lost was the 2022 Boston Celtics when they played the Golden State Warriors at home. So felt like they were going to bounce back in this spot. But I think game two could play out a little bit closer. But how close is close here? I feel like the eye test shows me that the Dallas is going to have to adjust in that first quarter. And I think that first quarter lines are going to move a little bit. We're on the race to, remember me and Jose were in race to 10 last night. But I actually, if Porzingis is going to come off the bench, I kind of want the Celtics in the first quarter because Big Al was shooting shots, but he was pricking all those shots. Porzingis went in there, and he looked like a key piece. It feels like Dallas has been kind of having the bench favoritism in these series. I remember in that Oklahoma City Thunder series, we were talking about how bad Josh Giddey's plus-minus was and about how the Thunder, every time they would sub him out of the game, they were already down points, and they lost the first quarter ATS-wise in every game but one in that series. And it kind of seemed to be the same exact scenario for Minnesota. Minnesota just weren't getting off the good starts, but we saw Boston last night get off to a good start. And I think you get a good start here in game two. It's going to be key to keep an eye on what referee we're going to get here for this game. Last night we had Zach Garba, who usually plays more overs. He was like the most over better in the NBA Finals, and the under ended up hitting. But that was more because Dallas Mavericks couldn't hit a shot. It wasn't anything short of what the Boston Celtics were doing. There could be a little bit meat left on the bone there with the Boston Celtics team total over.
Yeah, my uncomfort is that Lively and Irving were embarrassed. And they're both have a junkyard dog mentality. They're both going to fire back here. BJ says Celtics are too good. And Tori Coker says doesn't matter what the Mavs do. Celtics are better, both starters and bench and coaching. Celtics cover it again. Let's talk about the situation here. The pace was exactly what both teams have been playing throughout the playoffs, so there's no change there. It was that Dallas shot 41.7 from the field and 25.9 from three. Throughout the playoffs this year, 46.8 and 36.7. And then the Celtics shot 38.1 from three and 47.6 from the field. We talked before game one yesterday about how if the Celtics hit 14 threes, they're 9-0 in the playoffs. And they did exactly that. And it was KP, it was Kristaps Porzingis that set the tone. I mean, 11 points and 3 block shots in his first 7 minutes. Also, Jaylen Brown defensively stepped up. 22 points for Jaylen. Tatum was really nowhere to be found, except for those of you bullish on the Tatum rebounds. He got that easily, 11 boards, even though he only scored 16 points. Derek White went for 15 and, 16 3-pointers for the Celtics. Drew Holiday, Derek White, and Jaylen Brown all took turns defending Luka one-on-one, and they stayed in front of him. And it created a situation where Doncic shot, and he only had 1 assist. Now, the Mavs weren't getting assists from anyone. So they forced Luka to shoot. He took 26 shots, and that tied his season low with 1 assist. The Mavs had 9 assists on their 35 field goals for the game. They had 5 assists through the first 3 quarters. That's the fewest assists through 3 quarters of a basketball team, of 3 quarters of a basketball game, by any team in the NBA, regular season or playoffs, over the last 3 seasons.
That makes me kind of want to play the total.
And expand on that.
If Dallas doesn't shoot as bad as they did in that last game, I feel like the over easily hits. It was just that Dallas was down by fucking 30 points at halftime, it felt like, watching the game.
We talked about the advantage the Celtics had with their defending the corner threes. They're the best team in the league defending the corner threes. The Mavericks desperately want to shoot corner threes. It does.
Like Dallas was just not used. So for the other series that they've played, the teams have shot astronomically low. The Clippers shot really fucking bad in that series. They barely cracked 100 points. Then when they played Oklahoma City Thunder, they shot their worst in a series, which was like completely way off from their regular season numbers. And then the Timberwolves couldn't hit a bucket to save their life in that series. It felt like they didn't know how to adjust when they saw a team just get hot from the 3-point line. And I feel like once they got hot, that was like really the game. But maybe Dallas knows what to expect a little bit. A little bit of what Jose was saying last night about the Luke Walton thing. I mean, that was pretty big. They were showing it before the game. Bill Walton ceremony with the jerseys. All their warm-ups have Walton on it. So maybe this could be a letdown spot. But you're kind of making me want to play the over because I felt like there was a lot of wiggle room in that Boston Celtics second half. They got very complacent there in the second half. In the third quarter and fourth quarter, they only got 23 and 21 points.
Joseph Gomez says we've seen this story in the past couple of series. Lose outright to the Pacers in game 2, and the Cavs is 15-point favorite. Says all value on the Mavs. Tom Lee says Mavs need to land their shots. If they do, the game is closer than 7 points in his opinion. Troy Torrance says 25 potential assists and only 5 assists. Troy says he thinks he's with Brizzy. Wine Time says it's only one game. If Dallas wants to win the game 2, they will need their best effort all series. I think the Celtics will take the series, but Dallas really needs this game. Not saying they win, but they cover. So Kyrie Irving's now 0-11 against the Celtics. He scores 12 points and goes 0 for 5 from 3. That does make me nervous. Lively, 5 fouls, 5 rebounds, 2 points. This is a guy who averaged a double-double. He didn't get his first point till 6 minutes, 48 seconds left in the game. PJ Washington looked great. He's looked great all playoffs. And the Celtics took 42 threes, so 16 for 42. The Celtics shot almost exactly what they've been doing all playoffs. There's nothing different. It's just that when they shoot that number, they win these basketball games. So honestly, I think the Celtics won by too easily. I think it makes me so uncomfortable in playoff series when a team smashes the other team early. And then they play in the same arena, in the same spot with no travel, with no nothing. And the team is embarrassed. The Mavericks are angry. I mean, that's how you want a team. You want them embarrassed and angry. We just see this time and time again in all team sports. They come back smashing. Tom Leach says, bet the over in game 2. I think that I want the Mavericks plus the points in game 2. I really, really do. Brizzy, what is your plan for game 2? You talked about the over already. Are there player props that you're interested in? And why don't you put a bow on our NBA Finals breakdown for game 2?
Yeah, I'll start with a little public scenario here. I kind of wanted to get what was like the public opinion about the series. End up watching. You ever see KG and Paul Pierce's Showtime podcast called Off the All the Smoke series? Well, listen to them talk about the series was very interesting because when they asked him about the game predictions, Paul Pierce goes, "Yeah, they're gonna smoke them game 1. I got the Celtics by 15 plus," and they're like, "You know the line's 8.5, right?" He said, "Yeah, I know, and I got my bet on it too." And KG was like, "Yeah, throw some down on it for me." And then they're like, game 2, and Paul Pierce said the same exact thing. KG was like, nah, I don't think so. That game 2 is going to be a little bit closer. And I kind of agree with them. But if Dallas is going to make this close, they're going to have to hit shots. I'm kind of liking the over. Got burned on the over last night. Had the beautiful same game parlay ticket last night. Celtics money line, the over, Derek White PRA, PJ Washington points, and Jason Tatum rebounds. And the only thing that didn't hit on it was the over. I felt like I kind of jumped the gun on it was kind of like Russ versus Russ, kind of jumped the gun game 1. That was like the only thing that I really lost on was the over. I think I'm going to go back to the well here and bet the over at 214.5. That's basically the same exact line that I got for game 1. The line movement kind of didn't go the way that I really wanted it to go to. It went up, but then it dropped down like a couple hours before the game. Usually with the NBA finals, with how much public money comes in, you kind of want to see the whatever you bet get inflated a little bit before the game goes off. Player props that I was looking at, though, I kind of want to stick with my Derek White props. He was kind of – everything that he was doing last night kind of seemed to come like very easily and naturally. Like he was rebounding, passing. We all kind of thought it was going to be a little bit of some Drew Holiday love, but it wasn't really Drew Holiday. It was really Derek White, and his PRA line is going to be hovering somewhere exactly where it was at last game, 23.5. But I'm also thinking a little bit here on the Kristaps Porzingis fade. But the line's at 15.5. I mean, could Porzingis hit a couple of threes and some layups and get around like 12, 14 points? But I kind of want to play it under PRA-wise on Porzingis. I don't think he's going to play as good as he did in that last game. His under PRA is 23.5 at minus 120.
Yeah, and the points 14.5 here at 365, heavily juiced to the over. It was the first thing I thought. And unfortunately, I said when we were at halftime, he had scored, 18 points. And his full game number was at 23.5. And I knew that it was so low for a reason. We should have taken the under on it for sure. And I didn't. And it, something that bothered me. Brizzy over 214.5 at minus 108. Is that the only thing that you're making official at this point for our show?
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff popping off this weekend, Jim. I know you're a Canadian Football League fan, but we got the UFL finals going off Sunday evening, and San Antonio's finest Brahmas are taking on the St. Louis Battlehawks, and that game pops off at 7 p.m. on Sunday, and definitely be betting over in that one. I kind of lean towards St. Louis winning that game as well.
I love it, Brizzy. Well, it is time to move on to WNBA. Brizzy, our guys wanted WNBA action, and we listen. That's one thing that we will promise you. This is your show. Everybody watching right now, that's your show. You tell us what you want, and we will do it. Tori Coker has already given us the Mercury +8 at home. Tori Coker moving on the Mercury +8 at home. And BJ saying Mavs +7 game 2 is a good bet. Yeah, I'm moving on it, BJ. I'm very curious to see what happens with the market though. So I will wait. I'm not going to bet it right away. If it's 6.5, that's fine. If it's 7.5, I'll pause. But I'll still move on it, I think. I'm just curious. But 7's a fine number. Maybe I should just get something in with the 7. But let's roll. We have the Indiana Fever 2-9, 1-5 on the road. The Washington Mystics 0-10, 0-4 at home. Capital One Arena in Washington, D.C. We know that the market moves very briskly in these WNBA spots, and we close our shows with it generally, which is not that helpful. But let's roll into it. We're going to use Pinnacle line moves here for this one. We have Indiana at -3. They opened up at -2, and they're juiced to -113. They opened up at -2 at 6:14 a.m. this morning. So we have a 1-point move towards the Fever. And on the total here, we are sitting with a 163. This opened up at 162.5. It went up to 163, dropped down to 162. Now it's back up to 163, a half-point move to the over. I don't know if they're going to give us any cash information here. They're Let's see what we got. So for the cash flow, we got a lot of cash information, man. People ain't messing around. We got 8,401 tickets in for Fever Mystics. This is the lone 7:30 game, 7 p.m. type game. The rest of the games are at 10 p.m. 89% of the tickets are on the Fever, just 66% of the cash, though. Some big bets have come in on the Mystics, and we have no information on the total. Take it away for us here, Brizzy. Game 1 on the WNBA slate, Fever Mystics.
Yeah, this line actually opened up as the Mystics being the -1 favorite, and then I think everybody came to the realization, how the fuck are the Mystics on the second half of a back-to-back laying points against anybody in the WNBA? And that line briskly moved and flipped through 0. But I will say the Fever played 11 games in 20 days to start off the season, one of the hardest WNBA schedules in history. They haven't played a game since Sunday versus a Mystic team that's on the second half of a back-to-back. Even though they're home, they're still down some bodies. They competed last night against the Sky, but they ended up blowing a second half lead in that game. I think there's going to be an emphasis here for the Indiana Fever for the Commissioner Cup games. While the Fever don't have any shot of making the WNBA playoffs, they could definitely make the Commissioner Cup playoff, kind of like the playing tournament, similar to the NBA. And if they can pick up a win here, that's going to put them in a really good position with the Liberty and Sun that are both in front of them. The only two teams that are going to be in front of them. Both of them play each other tomorrow. So I'm on the Indiana Fever here. They don't have a lot of opportunities to promote Caitlin Clark for as bad as the Fever have been and how bad they're going to be this year. But it seems like they're getting off to a pretty good Commissioner Cup start record here, 1-1 so far, which puts them in third place in the Eastern Conference. And if they pick up a win here, they would be tied for first. So I like the Indiana Fever here on the money line. I bet it last night at -120. That line's kind of gone poofies in the wind in CLV land somewhere. So I would bet the -2. I would want it at one possession here. I think the under is definitely in play. The under has kind of gotten a little bit of steam now. Opened up at 164.5, came down to the 162.5 here. But I just can't get my mind off of this is just a perfect scenario. I mean, if you look at the schedule of competition, it was the hardest schedule in WNBA history. Then you play 11 games in 20 days. If that was an NBA team, that would be the only thing that we would talk about in this spot. And then we have the second half of a back-to-back with a young Mystics team that's going to be without Shakira Austin, Brittany Sykes. They already had Elena Deladon coming into the season not playing for the team, and they're winless for a reason. They haven't been playing good basketball. All their unders have been hitting in the last week and a half, 2 weeks. Aaliyah Edwards is the only thing that's been popping for him. And I only feel like she's played a good game against Connecticut because, I mean, she had her whole entire team there from college. And then the next game was against the Chicago Sky, which is also a rookie versus rookie matchup against Angel Reese. Angel Reese and them girls put that can to that ass last night. The Mystics had their opportunity to get their first win last night, and it didn't come. I think they're going to be gassed late in this game. I think the first half is going to be competitive, but once the later portions of this game happen, I think the Indiana Fever are going to pull away, and they better because their upcoming schedule is definitely not too nice. So if they want to get the Indiana Fever in the Commissioner Cup playoff, they're going to have to win this game here tonight.
Brizzy on the Fever money line moved on it last night. It's moved to 3 on the spread right now. Let's move on to Michelob Ultra Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada, home of the Aces, who are 5-2, 3-1 at home, going up against the Seattle Storm, 6-3, 3-2 on the road. The Vegas, as usual, are big favorites here, -8.5 at Pinnacle. They opened up at 8, quickly moved to 8.5, got up to 9.5 this morning. 9:24 a.m. sitting at 9.5. Since then, there's been a point of buyback towards the Storm. Let's get into the total here for this one. From a total side of things, we have a 166. It's -112 to the over. Opened up at 167.5. Got up. This was at 168.5 at 9:13 a.m. And then it drops to 165.5. 3-point drop in the last hour. There's been a half point of buyback, still a 1.5 move towards the under. And thank you, Justin. Thank you. That's very helpful. So let's get into the cash flow for this one. Cash flow wise, now there's 5,500 tickets here. We don't have percentages of money, just tickets. We have 88% of the tickets on the Aces on the spread. We have 89% of the tickets on the under. Tori Coker on the under 167 here, beating the line move. What is Brizzy going to do? Take it away, Storm, Aces in Vegas.
Yeah, the Aces concluded their road trip in their last game on a high note, coming off a good performance versus Dallas in their last game. It was rookie former teammate at Iowa, Kate Money Martin's birthday in the last game. So it was good vibes for the team and all that. Jackie Young was listed as questionable for an illness, missed a shoot around, and then ended up playing 35 minutes in the last game. So I don't even care if she's on the injury report today. It doesn't really matter. They added WNBA vet Tiffany Hayes. She made her debut in the last game. She played 25 minutes. She looked really good for not playing in the WNBA in the last 2 years, to just come right in and be a spark right off the bench. But I feel like this line's a little bit too inflated considering how Seattle's been playing this year. This is basically a matchup of the top 5 WNBA teams in the league, and you're telling me 10 points is going to separate them. But I also feel like comparing betting theories kind of got burnt in a couple of spots like that in college basketball this year. I remember in action, I bet the number 2 team against the number 1 team, and it was like a plus 11.5 line. And they ended up getting smoked by like 15 plus. So just a little bit of that is kind of scaring me off. But I gotta lean towards the Storm, and more importantly, I think the best bet in this game is the Las Vegas team total under 87.5.
And that's a look that Justin McKelvey is leaning towards. He's also on the Storm at +9. So we have a lean to the Aces team total under for our guy Brizzy. We roll on. Next up for us, we have Dallas Wings 3-5, 2-3 on the road to the LA Sparks, 2-7, 1-4 at home at Crypto.com Arena in Los Angeles, California. Let's get into the line history here for this one. We'll start with the total, sitting at 160.5. That's where it opened, and then it went up to 161.5 before coming back. So it's right where it opened, 160.5. And then we'll get into the spreads. From a spread perspective here, we have this sitting at -109. Also, an important note about WNBA is that it clearly can be beaten. And we have seen books like Pinnacle have 6 cents of VIG or 12 cents total on a lot of their spots. Not in WNBA. It's 18 or 16 cents of VIG, which means that people are beating them. They're not as friendly. This opened up with Dallas -3 at -109. They're now -4 at -109. 45 minutes ago, this was -4 at -116. At 10:40 a.m., this got up to 4.5. So it's come back. But there has been a 1-point move towards Dallas. On the total here, we are dealing with, I did that 160.5. So let's get into the cash flow. From a cash flow standpoint, we have no information at all from action. No information at all. Tori Coker took the Wings first quarter. Von Polo sitting on the -4 for the Wings. Justin McKelvey took the Wings -135 yesterday. Let's hear what Brizzy says about Wings Sparks at Crypto.
Yeah, the Wings have been struggling with injuries, but I definitely think there's a tier gap talent difference between the Wings and the Sparks here. The Sparks offense is just so inconsistent, hence their record. But something's telling me this line's really fishy with the Wings only being -3.5 point favorites. They started off their Commissioner Cup run 0-2, which isn't good news because they're probably not going to make the Commissioner Cup playoff. And the Sparks are just never a team that I'm looking to go to the window with. This line kind of opened up at 1.5 for Dallas. Then it got steamed all the way up to 4.5. And now we're kind of seeing some buyback here, and it's coming down on some places. But I got to stay away from this game. I think the best bet in this game is the under. Been rocking with the Sparks under, but the only thing that concerns me about the under in this one is I definitely think Dallas could do whatever they please in this game. So it kind of throws a conundrum. The last time that these two teams played head-to-head was, I believe, one of the first games of the season, and Dallas won 84-83 at LA, and the game went over 165. It was a 1-point win. So Could this play close again? Yeah, but I don't know. This is definitely not one that's on the top of my totem pole today. I bet.
Well, let's talk about the final spot on the board here. And I apologize if you hear my kids screaming. It's a bunch of kids in the house right now. Minnesota Lynx 7-2, 3-1 on the road at the Phoenix Mercury 4-6, but 3-1 at home. Footprint Center in Phoenix, Arizona. We already heard Torrey Coker on the Mercury at +8, but this line has moved drastically. Right now, we have them at Pinnacle at +5. Opened up at 5.5 at 6:16 this morning. Let's see what BetOnline opened this up at. BetOnline's moved this to 4.5. Juice to Minnesota, and they opened it up at 6.5, and it was at 6.5 for a while, for a couple hours here. And the first time when it first moved to 5.5, it came back to 6.5 last night. But around 11 o'clock was a big 2-point move here to 4.5. Take a look at the total in this one here. We'll go back to Pinnacle line movement. This is a 161.5 minus 108 to the under. This opened up at 164. So we've had a big move towards the under from that opening line. And picks from Dave in the house. Love it. Von Polo is on Phoenix here as well. Let's take a look at the cash flow if there's any information in this one. And there is in this one. We have 97% of the tickets on the Minnesota Lynx, despite this move towards the Mercury. Then we have 26% of the tickets and 89% of the cash on the over, and it is moving towards the under. Feels like the books have the cappers right where they want them. Take it away for us here, Brizzy. Final game on the board, Lynx Mercury.
Yeah, the Lynx have been a surprise to me this year. They've been rolling 7-2 ATS, 4-0 ATS on the road this year. The best shooting team in the league, and also the best defensive team in field goal percentage wise. The Mercury opened up the season with a 3-1 record, but then they followed that up with a 1-5 stretch, which included blowout losses to the Sun and Lynx. The last time that they played, they already got blown out by this team. Shit, even Alyssa Pili ended up playing in that game. She ended up making her WNBA debut and ended up scoring 19 points off the bench in that one. I think we have to wait an injury news report for this one. Brittany Grinder's listed as questionable, and Rebecca Allen is also listed as questionable. Rebecca Allen fucking died. Derek Lively type thing happened to her. She got a concussion, and I haven't seen her play basketball in about 2 weeks. Brittany Grinder's been out since the beginning of the season, and she's listed as questionable for this one. And if she comes back, you could say it takes a player to adjust this, that, and the third. But, I mean, considering she came fresh out of jail last year, about a month away from the season, and played the whole entire season last year and looked pretty fine, I think if she gets back in the lineup, I think all go for Mercury. They'll be just fine. Not too big on not too concerned about Brittany Grinder when she does come back, even if it is on a minutes limit. I think she'll be ready to go. But this is more of an eye test type of thing for me. Like I always say, the Mercury are my favorite team in the WNBA. I'm a big fan of the Phoenix Mercury, and Diana Taurasi is my favorite player in the WNBA. But that doesn't disregard the cap at all. Last time that they played against the Lynx was about like a week and a half ago. They got blown the fuck out in that game. The first quarter score was 21-12, and the Lynx were already up. At halftime, the second quarter, they scored 34 points, and the Phoenix Mercury scored 19. So they're getting smoked at halftime. The Phoenix Mercury got smoked in their last game as well in Seattle. The game was over before it even started. The Mercury are a dichotomy type of team. They play good at home, 3-1 record at home this year. But when they go on the fucking road, I don't know what happens, but they just fall off. I think we're going to see a better Phoenix Mercury start off in this game. I'm on the first quarter team total over here, 19.5 at -140 at FanDuel for the Phoenix Mercury.
Brizzy's on the Mercury first quarter team total over 19.5. Was that -145?
-140.
-140 for Brizzy. Mercury first quarter team total over 19.5. He is a lean towards the Aces team total under. And he is on the Fever money line. And you're getting a lot of love for that action here. Loving Rod's Wacky, loving your look, as is Von Polo. Ramon Scott says, why would you Oh, said I would think you could be Phoenix and still get off them reasonably. If those players are ruled in, this surely would become a pick'em. Rod Zwacky is tailing that action. And Tori says, that's why I'm on the Mercury. I'm taking them first quarter too. So a lot of love for the WNBA breakdowns here from our guy, Billy Brisbane, and interest from the chat. So we'll keep hammering this. So I'll stay in touch with Brizzy and talk to Jeff about getting Brizzy on a lot more here to drop WNBA for you guys. Much love to you, Von Polo. Of course, please remember this. Truly remember this. This is your show. You guys tell us what you want, and we'll do it. So great job, Brizzy, my man. And Brizzy is on the over 214.5 minus 108 in the NBA Finals Game 2 on Sunday night. Now, you have a monster weekend ahead of you. Hopefully, you'll be available for our live stream on Sunday night. I'm sure that Mikey Money and Jose will be in touch with you. But we have the big UFC Cincinnati live stream on Saturday night and all the breakdowns. Locker Room Talk podcast up right now on our YouTube channel. Is a showcase video here on our channel. And it's a great, great show. Brizzy's one of the stars of alongside Just My 2 Cents. And, of course, Big Show and Millsy, MMA Locker Room himself. Brizzy, my man. And please follow Brizzy on X at getting_bills_. Brizzy, any last words for the Capper Sport in the show, my guy?
Yeah, make sure you follow me over on social media. We're getting the shit popped off this weekend. Talk about a lot of actions in sports. Fight action starts off tonight. Cage Warriors 173 San Diego card. Make sure you follow me over on X. Tweet a couple pics out for that one. And we got UFC Louisville tomorrow afternoon here. So make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe. Hit that bell notification so you get notified for all of our live videos. Go check out the Locker Room podcast. And make sure you check over pubsportsradio.com/contest and get inside that UFC contest. 100th the first. How much do you have to pay to enter? $0.99. Well, in reality, 0.00. So make sure you sign up for that contest this weekend. Get in there and go try to make some cash. Shouts to everybody in the chat and shouts to everybody this weekend. God bless the action. It's going to be a long weekend.
I love it. I love working with you, Brizzy. Thank you for your time, my man. There he is, Billy Brisbane, South Jersey's finest in the house. All right, it is time to talk horses, but Jose Bouquet, there are people asking about WNBA looks from you. Do you have?
Tell Rem to suck my balls. I've got nothing for him. That's my look.
Sure.
I want just Rem most. No one else. Anyone else that asked, I appreciate you asking. Specifically, Rem most. Suck my balls. I don't have anything for you.
Just the balls, though, right?
Just the balls. Don't you dare go to my taint, Rem. Don't you dare.
It is time to race horses. It is Friday. We have a monster weekend ahead of us at Pub Sports Radio. We're going to be all over everything on Saturday, and Razor Sharp Picks and myself will be here live at 10:30 a.m. Of course, C-Mac and G and Kev Reed and Mr. Gokster and Mr. Bombs, Mr. Penny Bombs. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. And you guys make this show so much fun. And you guys made our live stream last night so much fun. It is time to race horses. We have 74 runners. Is that right, Jose?
75
runners.
We have a new runner. Nice.
Yeah. Respect to our latest gold member. Thank you guys for being gold members. We're running them all here. 2-minute race. We're running them all. Juan Ruiz, a 2-time champ in the house. And Rod Zawacki will be around for the horses. We'd love that, Rod. Absolutely love that. And Lee Davis says Tigers opening at minus 160, the penny now down to minus 108. I'm going to
who's on the bump?
It's a bullpen day. It's just a bullpen day at this point.
Tobias Myers?
Yes.
I see T. Myers on the
Myers?
I see T. Myers.
Why did I think something different when Justin gave us I liked that means it's not a bullpen day. And I like Tobias Myers. Interesting. Okay, I've got work to do on the MLB card. Tori Coker says, will my horse finish in the top 60? 2 minutes of racing here. We thank you guys from the bottom of our hearts for being Pub Sports Radio Gold members. It means a ton to us. Kelsey back in business here. Kelly McInnes trying to get his name in the winner's circle. It is yet to happen for our friend Kelly and our friend Tori and Nasty Nate, who's on his way to New York City. Jose, you got the first minute, and I'll take us home. Take it away, my guy.
Yep, it's going to be a fun horse race. Shout out to all you guys that are members. What do you have to do to become a member? How is it? What is it? Just $9.99 a month. Become a member, support the pub. We need all the members we can get to support our community. The more members we get, the more we can give back to you guys and the more content we can provide you guys as well. So shout out to you guys all, 75 strong gold members. Let's race some fucking horses. It's a beautiful day. The sun is shining. The birds are chirping, and the raccoons have not made much noise today. We're off in racing. What a beautiful day here. Big Ragoo fires out to the lead, and there he goes falling back. Justin McKelvey. Justin McKelvey, a good horse trainer here. Always in the mix, that McKelvey. Juan Chavez, Saturated, Coin, all in the mix here. This is going to be a great race here. Jimmy the Bag also in the pack right behind the leaders there. It's going to be interesting here. 1:30. Who has the distance? Who has the late pace to come through? I cannot wait and see what happens here. TJ jumps up to the lead now. The aforementioned TJ from earlier in the program. Can he find the wire? 1:15 left here. Saturated's worried. Saturated thinks his jockey has the wrong strategy. He says it's never good to start in the front. Who's going to come through, Jimmy? Because this race is all about late pace.
I love seeing all the names. So many of my friends battling here. Matty Ice making a move. Nut Flush Allen up front. And Ken Wood. Could Ken Wood go back to back? Ken Wood trying to go home with it. There's Justin McKelvey. You've talked about the training he's done on that horse, and a thing of beauty right now, running very nicely. Zoe,
I think, Jimmy, if you really look, you can really see the circumcision lines from Justin McKelvey's horse. I think that circumcision really helped him out.
Well, that's important. Are you really looking? Because here comes Jimmy the Bag. Jimmy the Bag making a move to the front. Kenny Sater, Crystal Craig also waiting to get a first chance in the winner's circle. Nasty Nate as well. There goes Jimmy. Jimmy's got a chance, but Fanatical Jim has stepped in front and late pace. Sammy Comer right there. Jarek White, Ken Wood, Joey Marinaccio, top set. Here comes the Chosen One. The Chosen One making a huge late move with Nutflush Allen and Randall Sheffield. 3, 2, 1. Can Nutflush Allen get there? And the answer is no, he can't. TJ Parks, his second victory in as many weeks. God, that was close. I thought it was Nutflush's chance to deliver. It may not have been. God, Nutflush, so close. Randall Sheffield in second. Juan Ruiz, a two-time champion, in third. Jose Bouquet. Right
yeah,
there.
I fired there. It's a little late. We have to go over the training program again with the jockey. Irad didn't fire for me.
Preston Ekdahl in sixth. Brian O'Palmer in seventh. Fanatical Jim 8th. Smoke and Mirrors 9th. Kent Davies 10th. Rod Zawacki looked good there for a while. Tori Coker, not a bad performance. 13th. Ramon Scott says, hold all tickets. That was I need to see the photo because it looks to me like Randall Sheffield's ahead of TJ Parks, doesn't it?
I mean, really, it does. I thought it was going to come for that top group there. TJ running around claiming the victory. Out of curiosity, let's check out who our last place finisher is. Oh, Nasty Nate. Oh, my God. He was in the lead for like a half second. And with like 10 seconds to go, did his horse just blow a leg? Jesus Christ.
Poor
Kenny Can unfortunately rounds up the rear. But good God, Nate.
Poor Nasty Nate. We love you, Nate. On his way to New York to go see Peter Loshak as we speak. For those of you joining us late, this is what Peter has told me. He says he's got on his Dan Levi sunglasses ready, his white Tommy Hilfiger sneakers, his gray Ben Sherman track jacket, Diane von Furstenberg water bottle, some Ralph Lauren purple label corduroy pants. That's what he's
ready
got.
to go.
Yeah. He says it might be too hot for those corduroy pants.
Yeah. I mean, I can already see Pete dripping sweat already, but
he also says he's not sure. He's got a lot of other stuff he's forgetting.
Sure. I'm surprised he's not going out in the gown.
Yeah.
The cloak.
He also says next Tuesday, let's start the show talking about line movements and game results. He wants to talk about it right off the hop. So he's fine.
Troy, that's a sign for you, Troy. You better come correct on Tuesday.
Saturate says his horse's performance is a good analogy for the Cubs season.
That's a
And
good question. And Kelsey's asking great questions.
yeah, how much does he get from those sponsors? It may surprise you. Nil.
Squad ass zilch, as they say.
That was actually what I was going to say next. Let's review all action in NHL. I'm going up against Mikey Money and many others. I do believe the Florida Panthers will win the Stanley Cup.
Can I ask you a random question? Who's Stanley?
Lord Stanley. He's the one who donated the cup 140 years ago. Lord Stanley. Our big park in Vancouver is named after him as well. Stanley Park as well. So
Is his first name Lord, or was he a lord of some castle?
he was a lord. He was I believe knighted by the Queen. Yes.
I need to do some more research on Stanley, because I was thinking, I was like, Stanley, what a fucking weird name for a cup. Stanley?
Yeah, it was donated by Lord Stanley himself. So I'm in a great situation, but I don't want it to stop me from moving on it. I've got the 9-1 on the Oilers and the 10-1 on the Panthers, 400 each. But I'm just going to act as if I have nothing on it. I'll be very thankful. Lord Stanley of Preston, says Rod Zawacki. Thank you.
Wait, Rod, is his first name Preston?
Very important stuff here. Saturate says, I heard today that Florida and Vegas teams have huge advantage when it comes to taxes for recruiting signing players. Huge advantages. Ridiculous advantages.
Yeah, well, it's no income tax, right?
Kelly McKinnis says there's a Stanley Park in Calgary too, lives 4 blocks away. You know, Kelly McKinnis, that reminds me of there was my friend lives in Bridgeland in Calgary. And I was coming back from a gig. I was dropping off the rental car so I wouldn't have to do it in the morning. Dropped it off at like 3:30 in the morning, 4 in the morning. And I should have just taken a taxi to Brad's house. But instead I was like, yeah, I'll walk it at 4 in the morning. So I cross a bridge by the homeless shelter, and I see in the distance, there's like a little bit of a park, and then I see 4 guys point at me, get together, and then walk around. And I've got a suitcase, and I know that I'm about to get robbed. I'm certain I'm about to get robbed. And so I sprint. I hold my backpack and I run as fast as I possibly can. I mean, and I have done this on occasion. Just, you know what? Time to run. And I ran as fast as I possibly could, and made it to Brad's place safe and sound. Safe and sound.
I would love to see you in a full sprint.
Oh,
I'd
I
love that.
just, when you think your life is in danger, I of course, my sprinting prowess was built in Echo Park Boulevard.
Mm-hmm.
I ran many times, many. I won 5 times. Let's say 5 times. That was my decision. Somebody would say something to me. I'd say, you know what? And I would just run away.
That's a good one.
Justin McCovey says you don't look like you run that fast. Interesting.
That's because you're white, Jimmy. That Justin's just saying that because you're white.
Interesting you say that. No, I got burners, man. I got wheels.
Justin, would you say that he looks like he skates fast?
I was trying to race Flash when I was in Costa Rica. I was challenging him to a race all the time, and he was scared. I got wheels, man.
I bet you there's precisely 0 cartilage in Flash's knees.
Oh, I wanted to race him so bad. You know, the reason why we were like hesitant, people didn't want us to race, was there was a race SBR between 2 guys after a party, and the one guy broke his arm in the race. He fell and broke his arm, so they were like very against us. Not
Flash is the last remains of Flash's ACLs are gone in that full sprint.
I'm ready to race. You guys want to race? We can go next time in San Antonio. We'll do some heats. I'm ready to race.
Well, please, I hopefully will be on the stream tomorrow at some point, and I would love if Flash was there at some point while I'm there, because I need to ask him about this as well. I need to ask him about his knees.
He wouldn't race me. He wouldn't race me. Kelsey says, do you ever go back to visit Costa Rica? I really want to, because Ella doesn't remember. She was there for 3 years. She spoke Spanish, and
that was me with Venezuela.
Yeah, and a lot.
Yeah,
of
my parents.
Yeah,
I was gonna say my parents did the same thing with me. I moved when I was 1. They took me back when I was an 8th grader or going into my freshman year of high school. Horrible time. Terrible time.
Well, Ella's best friend Lily, Natalie's daughter. I just want them to hang. I want her to remember. I just want her to remember. I want to see Spidey. I want to go back to Costa Rica very badly, very badly. Oldie says you want to race. It's so funny to yell at anyone. I do that every single time I'm in the car with my kids. Anytime any car pulls up beside me, I go, looks like this chick wants to race. I don't say chick because I don't want that, but I say, or look like this guy wants to race every single time. And I race them off the line every single time. And it bothers
Do you win?
people. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Oldie, good story here. I challenged a kid at a bar to a race the other week. I'm 6'2", 220 with boots and a Glock and dusted his ass. I would like to see the video of that, Oldie. I'm immediately interested.
Can somebody hold my Glock? I need to race. No, I respect that, Oldie. I respect that very, very much.
No. I mean, obviously, you run with it on, because if you lose, you know where your first instinct's going.
Yes, you guys are right. I have a 2005 Toyota Corolla. It no longer tells me the odometer stopped at 299,999. So,
what happened to the old car? Or, well, I shouldn't say what happened to it, but what was the car before that got ganked?
That was it. We got it back.
Oh, you got it back?
Yeah, it was just a B&E. Just the seats were down. Just a B&E.
I didn't know you got it back. I thought you had to get a new car.
No. We got it back. Car got ganked. Got it back.
I'll never forget the sadness in Jimmy's face when he told me that his car just got ganked, and I was like, "What the fuck does ganked mean?" My car got stolen.
Do you know that I have friends here, and now they use gank nonstop. Gank this, it got ganked. I got ganked. Everyone ganked has really caught fire. It's really
I think I'm gonna have to spread it to my American friends here.
Yeah. Ganked. Yeah, no, it's fucking money in the bank.
Yeah.
So let's just do a quick review of action here, and we'll thank you guys so much for being a part of our show. We have the Florida Panthers to win the Cup, and we're going to be doing live streams for the Stanley Cup Final as well. We're going to start that next week. Yeah, I'm going to be hosting them, and I really, really want to beat Mikey Money.
Oh, yeah. I do too. I was right there with you yesterday as well.
Yeah.
I'm coming for you, Mikey.
Mikey's a great capper. He's a lot of fun to be on the other side of. But when it comes to pucks, I'm going to fuck around, man. Yes, Kelsey, good work. You're using both in a sentence. Excellent work. Now, this cunt got ganked.
I don't think that's how it's spelt as well either, but...
No, that's how it's spelled.
Oh, really? Not SK?
No, oh, yeah. It's up to you. It's up to you.
Okay. It's just multicultural. It's scunt,
Yeah. Rod's Wacky says Edmonton in 6. Look, Rod, we were both right in Edmonton in 6 in the conference finals. Edmonton's a very good hockey team. The problem is they're playing a great hockey team.
I'm rooting for you.
No, it's going to be fun. So we're going to do a live stream for the Stanley Cup Finals as well. But let's review all action here in Canadian football. I am firing away here. Tonight, I'm on the Stampeders. And I challenge you to find anybody who's not on the Ticats. Every single person, every article, everybody. Ticats. Bo Levi Mitchell? What year is it?
Bo Levi Mitchell was good when Kyrie Irving was a Cavalier. So
yeah, that's facts. So I'm on the Calgary Stampeders, McMahon Stadium. Then I'm doubling up on the Edmonton Elks, first half and full game. Lines moving against me in both of those games. And then I am on the Toronto Argonauts +6 against the BC Lions. Then and those are over the next 3 days. Then we've got a lot of work to do on this baseball card. Jose, start with your action.
My action here, of course, I am on Washington Nationals first 5 +165. Braves Nats under 8 -125. Hopefully that's 7.5 across the boards now. Tampa Bay team total over 3.5 -135. Dodgers money line -136. Hopefully that's -150 across the boards now as well. Rockies first 5 money line fading Big Tits Lynn +145. And that under that, I can tell, Jimmy, you're uncomfortable with it. Under 7 -108. Diamondbacks-Padres. It's made you squirm.
I'm not. No, Kelsey, I'm on the Panthers to win game one in the series. But I haven't bet them yet. I've been kind of figuring out what to do and trying to forget about the incoming glory I'm about to receive from futures action. So in MLB, I've got a ton of work to do. The only move I've made is the Dodgers. First 5 money line, full game -1. But let's review all MLB action here. Now, Kelsey, Mikey's on the Oilers. Rod Zawacki's on the Oilers. A lot of good cappers on the Oilers. And Rod Zawacki, Edmonton wins game 1 is his 10-star play on Saturday. And I love it. I can't wait. I love it. So here we go. In MLB, I've got to decide what to do with this Tigers game. I'm a Tobias Myers fan, so I'm looking forward to cap that. And I love Reese Olson bouncing back here. So I got to do that. TJ's on the Nerfy in Twins Pirates and the Twins money line. Jay Smooth play of the day is Mitch Keller over 5.5 Ks, Cooper Criswell over 4.5 Ks. Parlay. I'm interested in the Twins. I'm interested in the under 8 in Atlanta, Washington. It's costly. It cost -125 for Jose at under 8. I'm not sure what to do with that. He's also on the Nats first 5 +165, and TJ's on Irvin under 1.5 walks. Lit picks is all over the Orioles here. TJ's on the over 7.5 in Orioles-Rays, and I've got some interest in Rays first 5. Again, I just need some more time here. And Dodgers first 5 in full game for me. Jose's on the Dodgers full game. TJ's on the Reds -1 at +121. The taint play of the day is a Reds first 5 -0.5 at +105. And Justin McKelvey is on Steer over 1.5 bases at +114. We got a lot of love for Steer in the chat. Morgan Spooner is on the Guardians for his play of the day -125. Vipe also on the Guardians, and we stayed off that spot. Interested in that first 5 under, but it's got more question marks and asterisks, which means I'm likely not going to move on it, but going to look at it further. Chicago White Sox first 5 is what I do want. I do want the White Sox first 5, but it's expensive for a horrible baseball team. I've got to figure out how to handle that. Then we have Mariners, Royals at 8:10 p.m. We all stayed off that. Jose's on the Rockies, first 5 +145. Ron Crawford, spreadsheet play of the day. Dog is the Royals. Morgan Spooner on the Giants money line. Yankees, Dodgers over 9, and the Orioles money line. Alvarez for Daby Cab. Alvarez,
I was very close to making that my hypothetical base prop of the day.
TJ's on the Yerfy, and I had interest in Angels first 5. I think I'm going to get off of it. Jose's on the under 7 at -108, which I just think is a very low number, but the market is saying, hey, you want to bet the over? Bet it over here. So I get it. I get why you're on it. Cabs on the Padres team total over 3.5. Cabs on the Jays at -132. He beat that line move by 30 cents. And then Brizzy's on the over 214.5 -108. And I've made up my mind. I'm going to be on the Dallas Mavericks in game 2. I'll be on them, and I'm interested in maybe pulling the trigger on the +7. I'll make that decision here shortly.
Jimmy, I'm glad you're not going to be on the Sunday stream now, because I'd feel bad being hysterical in front of you on the other side. I don't feel bad doing it in front of Mikey, obviously. I want him to feel every moment of that, but I'd feel bad if it was in front of you.
No, I love it. I love it, Jose. And we have a huge weekend here ahead of us at Pub. Monstrous weekend. Say Hey plays of the day for Jose Saturday and Sunday. Daby Cab will be his guest on Saturday. And then we have our horse racing stream starts at 10:30 in the morning. First race at 10:45 in the morning at both Saratoga and Indy. We got Indianapolis. And so we're going to have both those tracks rolling. And then, we'll be there all day and all night. And then UFC Cincinnati. And then we also have a boxing match that's on our homepage at Pub.
Shout out to Preston, who is reading Sun Tzu apparently.
And Newcorker says he likes Mindframe as a real chance in the Belmont tomorrow. It's so hard, Newcorker. If you watch Mindframe's only 2 races, how to not keep I close my eyes and I think about Mindframe clicking away from everybody. I mean, he's just been spectacular. Is he the next Arrowgate? Because a lot of the sharps think he's going to, not deliver tomorrow. And Razor Sharp picks, nothing to do with Mindframe tomorrow. So there we go. And I can't wait, Nuki. I can't wait. Tori Coker says, let's go Panthers. Yes, I can't wait for Saturday night hockey as well. And we're going to be doing a live stream next week for hockey and basketball. We're going to have both going. So it's going to be busy here. Thank you, guys. We have nothing without you. Kelly McInnes, Kelsey, Tori Coker, the New Quirker, Swiggy, Justin McKelvey, Mally Mal, Saturated, Rod Zawacki. Thank you guys. Rem Most, Old E, Fernando Mendoza, Slow Jams Arsenal, Mr. Heat, Doug, Justin McKelvey. You are the man. Thank you for all that you do for us, man. Saturated says, is that going to get handed down to Ella, the 2005 Toyota Corolla? I don't think she will.
God willing, of course. What are you talking about? Oh, yeah. And then it's going to be handed down to Carter.
Von Polo, good. All you guys. Remo says Mr. Roper's name was Stanley. Interesting. I didn't know that Mr. Roper.
I don't know who that is.
You don't know who Mr. Roper is?
No, I didn't. I have no idea. I have no idea. Are we gonna do the portion of the show where the chat just says a bunch of things that I don't understand, and I continue to laugh at all the things that I just don't understand?
Mr. Roper was pretty funny. He was a class act. Stanley Roper. I didn't know his first name was Stanley. Oh my god, I did not.
That does not sound like someone I want to be a friend with.
No, Mr. Roper
Stanley.
got big laughs. People love
Stanley Roper.
Stanley Roper, yeah. Yeah. Three's Company, man. Nuclear's ain't
Whose company?
Three's.
Who are the three?
Well, the most famous of Three's Company was what's her name? What's her name? The famous Three's Company.
Yeah, this is in fact the portion of the show where I just get educated on something. First, it was what was it? Edward Stanley of Preston.
Suzanne Summers. There we go. Suzanne Summers. Suzanne Summers was the most famous and the most beloved part. And now John Ritter, of course, was the main guy in it. But yeah, Janet and Chrissy, says Ramon Scott. Yeah,
Sure.
Susan Summers. Yeah, Susan Summers. She was Fox, man. Was a Fox.
Yeah, I'll say that's a hot name.
She was a Fox. That is our show for today. Brizzy's also on the Fever money line, leaning to the Aces team total under, and he's on Mercury first quarter team total over 19.5. Yes, Janet had the black hair. Yeah, you're right.
Oh, so it was like Challengers before Challengers. You wouldn't get that reference though. Actually, you don't watch movies. It was a movie about a threesome, essentially. It was pretty good.
I have no idea what you speak of, Jose. Not a clue. But thank you, Jose, for all that you do here for us. We love you guys. Go get that cash. Let's have a giant weekend. You don't know who John Ritter is, right?
No idea. Yeah, I pretend to know some things that's just nothing. I don't.
Well, that's fair.
When you said
yeah.
John Ritter, I'm watching the Hulu show Clipped. It's like the fucking dramatized version of the Donald Sterling stuff. I would assume that John Ritter is the guy playing Donald Sterling. However, I have no fucking idea who that is, so I'm just pulling that straight out of my ass. Which that's actually something you should watch, Jimmy, because it's comically bad. Like amongst the worst casting I've ever seen in my life, and it's just so funny to see. Like, oh, that's supposed to be Blake Griffin. That's hilarious. But yeah, it'll be very funny to watch.
Are you often pulling things out of your ass?
Yes, frequently.
Okay.
That's why when I'm downwind sometimes, if you hear closely, and
All right, that will be our show for today. We thank you all immensely for being here with us, and we want to bless your action with some lecheria. So let's go out and get that cash. Leche! Hey, los bookmakers, get that cash!